and the team getting ready to play the Titans. Major League Baseball playoffs. They are already in progress, and the Suns are at practice because their first preseason game in the NBA is this Friday. Welcome in, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. This segment is presented to you by Biggs American Bar and Grill. We are live there every Monday. It was great yesterday at Biggs. You can find them at P83. That's 83rd Avenue and Bell. We're on the air from 1 to 4, and then stick around for Monday Night Football, a chance to roll for dough. That's right, the jumbo dice, and a chance to win $10,000. This coming Monday night, the game, the Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Manuch, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for coming out to Biggs last night. Everybody had a chance to roll the dice for $10,000. Had a good crowd out there, jam-packed. Now that the weather has turning, 72 degrees for the low this morning.
Wow.
It was amazing.
What time was that?
That was like 7:30 this morning.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh, dawn 30, Jimmy B.
I got up at 8.
72 degrees, gorgeous. But another great crowd. I want to thanks for all the folks who are out there to watch watch the Jets finally come back. And what a very listless Broncos-Bengals game.
That was a bad football game.
Just bad football. And I got to tell you what, watching the Dolphins and Jets, it got exciting toward the end. Justin Fields, God bless him, started to make some runs and make some throws. But Aaron Glenn, the head coach of the Jets, how many times did he go off on his assistant coaches last night? He had this scowl at the offensive coordinator. I counted at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Because I noticed the little things like that.
Of course you do.
You know, just, hey, you know what? Leave him alone. You can make some comments. And I said this to Connor last night. I'm like, you know what? Don't chastise your assistants or your players in front of everybody and their mother. You can go down and say something, but don't berate them or don't give them that look. You know that look?
Yep,
like,
I know.
Like, what the hell are you calling here?
Exactly. Why I oughta.
Or the emotions on the sleeve. And I just think there's a time and place for that. But I got to tell you what, I think the Bengals could need, as they say in Texas, they might need a quarterback.
Manuch, I told you this morning before we did the show, they should make a call to the Giants and check Russell Wilson. They could probably get him for a six round pick.
Jameis Winston.
Or Jameis Winston.
They're both on that Giants roster.
Yeah, because Jake Browning is not getting it done.
No, and I will say this. The play calling was horrific by Taylor as well, too. Just absolutely horrible. He's throwing 3rd and 3, 3rd and 5. He's throwing fade routes.
Yeah.
Back shoulder routes. The play calling by Cincinnati last night was horrific. I mean, you talk about Jake Browning, they didn't give him a chance.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, Jake Browning, what he did last year, he had a pretty damn good season last year.
He
did not?
He did, yes.
But
it hasn't worked so far.
And I think, Connor, you brought this up on the way in today. I think they've got to make a move because their time is now with all the guys that have been re-signed.
Yeah, if you look at the Cincinnati Bengals and the way that they've structured their roster this past year, even with Trey Hendrickson going all the way through training camp, they got just an extension through the year with guaranteed money. They didn't add anything to it. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, both their contracts line up with Joe Burrows. This is a team that realistically thought they were going to be competing this year in a division that they thought, hey, maybe our biggest competition was going to be the Ravens.
be their practice facility.
Yeah.
So that's where they'll be practicing at.
Okay.
And I don't know what they're going to do with the current facility over there off of Hardy and Warner, if they're going to sell that or keep it, because when this is built, they're looking to have this built, I believe, over the next by 2028.
Yeah.
2028.
2.5 years,
so
they estimated.
I don't know if they keep that, sell that other site over in Tempe, or what they do, because the bubble is just fits, when it's hot,
right,
and indoor. But now they're going to have an actual, real, brand new facility. What the hell took you so long, Michael Bidwell?
Going to feel like a real NFL team to the players.
Because you look at all these other facilities around the league.
Yeah.
These guys have got gorgeous indoor facilities.
Yep.
They've got the cafeteria, the locker rooms.
Everything.
They've got everything that they need. So, they say it's going to be updated dining areas, meeting rooms, player lounge, and more. So this came out today. So the the Cardinals, and I went, boy, that site sounds really familiar. I don't know if it's the same site or if it's in that area.
It's right there.
But just west of Scottsdale Road and just north of the Loop 101. So by 2028, it'll be I'm sure, pretty gorgeous facility.
Okay, let's get to the team then. They have a date with the Titans, who are dreadful.
Woeful.
They do have a stud quarterback. You and I both love Cam Ward coming out of Miami. Before that, he was at Washington State. Before that, he was at Incarnate Word, and he turned himself into a number one draft choice. But he's getting Manuch absolutely no help. This is a slump buster for the Cards.
If the Cardinals don't beat them, I'm going to say 95-2, then something's wrong with this team. They should wax, beat this team like a tom-tom, whatever you want to use, whatever description you want to use. I mean, I looked at Cam Ward. I was telling Connor about this. We're getting ready for Manuch's clipboard report here at 3:15. I said, I can't put a rookie quarterback on the bad. I just can't.
Right.
I give the rookies a mulligan unless it's really bad. But Cam Ward, God bless him, he's got no time, got no running game. He was 10 for 26 for barely 100 yards.
Wow.
He had the one interception.
Wow.
He was sacked twice, ran for 22 yards, but he's only averaging 4 yards per completion, which for a lot of young quarterbacks, they dink and dunk. They're not reading the entire field. All of a sudden they drop back and somebody flashes open without reading the field, and they give it to him right now. So their offense, number one, they're trying to be conducive to a rookie quarterback versus, look, here's our system. We'll add what you do best, and we'll work it in there. And it just right now, it's atrocious with this Titans team. By the way, we'll catch up with former Cardinals head coach, now Titans radio color analyst, Dave McGinnis. We'll catch up with him on Friday at 1:30.
Okay.
Just for a heads up for you folks out there.
Looking forward to that. Hey, coming up, it'll be
our
our
3:30.
3:30. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. Coming up, it'll be our replay rewind. Lots of action from both games last night. By the way, so many ways to listen to this world-class radio program. They pay me money to say that. ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2. You can go to TuneIn, Arizona Sports app. Yell at your smart speaker, hey, play ESPN 620. Also, Alexa listens, plus streaming on YouTube. And we are broadcasting today from the ESPN studios in Phoenix. Hey, if you're looking for the center of activity in Ahwatukee, look, I've got the spot for you. It's the Hub Grill and Bar at Ray Road and 50th Street. Now, this is where the community all come together for food, fun, and, of course, to watch all of the big games. Now, here's what makes the Hub different. They go the extra degree. You know the saying, 212 degrees, water's hot. But at 212, it boils. That's right. That's one extra degree, and it creates steam powerful enough to move a train. And that's the energy the Hub brings every single day. Now we're talking wall-to-wall, big screen TVs, so you never miss a play. The food is excellent. I was there last night. I had the HFC Bowl. It is fabulous. They have mouth-watering burgers, wings, and a great lineup of local and craft beers. Now, whether you're catching the game with friends, grabbing dinner with the family, or stopping in for a weekend brunch, the Hub makes every guest feel like a VIP. So go over to the Hub Bar and Grill. It's in Ahwatukee. It's open daily for lunch, dinner, and brunch. The Hub, your neighborhood center of activity.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with the perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
At Crest Insurance, we believe great insurance starts with great relationships. For years, we've been protecting businesses, families, and futures with the care and expertise you deserve. Our team knows what it takes to provide personalized solutions for your needs. We're here to make insurance simple, reliable, and stress-free. Visit crestins.com to see how we can protect what matters most to you.
It's time to make plans to join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B for another Dos Equis Sun Devils watch party. ASU hits the road to Base, Utah, Saturday, October 11th at Backyard Gilbert. This is your ultimate tailgate. Elevated bar favorites in the game on massive LED walls. And at halftime, 25 fans get a shot to roll for dough for 10 grand. See you there, Sun Devil fans. All season long at Backyard Desert Ridge and Backyard Gilbert.
Summer is just around the corner. Is your roof ready for the monsoon season? Well, now's the perfect time to call State 48 Roofing for a free roof inspection. Don't wait until you're dealing with a leaky roof in the scorching heat. Protect your home today. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. Keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing, the #1 referred roofer in Arizona. Proudly serving the Arizona residential and commercial markets for over a decade.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Now it's time for our Replay Rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Roc decides to add. Let's get to it in Replay Rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD-2.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. We take you all the way till 4 o'clock this afternoon. The Rewind presented by Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck, need a check, just make one call. 602-977-1900, always at lernerandrowe.com. Once again, one call, that's all. Lerner and Rowe, 602-977-1900. So my esteemed colleague talked a little bit about the 2 football games last night that were on for Monday night. We will begin with the Jets-Dolphins game, and the Dolphins were in control of this game, and then Justin Fields had a long touchdown run, and then he finally got the passing game going in the fourth quarter.
Crowding the line here. They do bring pressure. Fields launching to the end zone again. Jump ball. Garrett Wilson. Touchdown.
Boy, he's a good player. Thank you to ESPN for the highlight. Garrett Wilson, they just should throw the ball to him, Manuch.
You know, that's the one thing I think Justin Fields is trying to get adapted to is, his passing game, what they have. And at time, very anemic looking. And then they finally kicked in that second half, 18 points, in that second half, where they finally started to get it together. It's going to take a little while for Justin Fields and this receiving core, because you look at this receiving core, Look at Wilson and Taylor. Then Breece Hall coming out of the backfield. I think they started to get a little rhythm and continuity in that second half. But you look at this team currently 0-4, and Aaron Glenn's not happy. I mean, matter of fact, he tongue-lashed that entire team in the locker room after the game. And those reports came out and just said, look, guys, you got to get it together. He's probably a little more vociferous than that.
Probably,
but
yes.
I think the thing that he kind of got into was the mental mistakes, the mistakes that they constantly have. And Garrett Wilson's one of the guys that came out and said, look, we talk about it every day. You know, you got to play smart, you got to play hard, but you got to understand what you're doing out there in the field is going to affect you at the very end of the game.
Speaking of the aforementioned Aaron Glenn, the head coach of the Jets, here's what he had to say afterwards about Justin Fields.
I need to look at the tape. You know, I thought he did some really good things. I mean, obviously he was running around out there and made some plays with his feet. And I thought he, towards the end of that game, man, he was dealing the ball pretty well. But I really want to look at the tape and look at the decisions and things like that to see exactly how he operated. But to me, just from the naked eye, it looked pretty good.
So one of the things that took place in last night's game, the Dolphins and wide receiver Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, dislocated knee. He's torn ligaments in his knee as well. He's already in the hospital, and they are doing surgery on that knee. He is done for the year. It was awful to look at. I'm sorry that I even happened to see it. It was bad, Manuch.
Highly recommend you don't look at it. Yeah. Connor, as astute as he is, as we're doing that at Biggs, had a snapshot of the picture. Oh. So we saw it on the sideline. Connor goes, look, Manuch, excuse me, and his leg was turned outward.
The wrong way.
Yeah. I went, didn't need to see that. Didn't need to see that. But Connor, thanks anyway. I appreciate that.
I'm just looking out for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Stay on top of the game.
So the Dolphins end up winning the game, and it's their first win of the year. Here's head coach Mike McDonald talking about Tyreek Hill.
I know it was a dislocation. He was probably in the best spirits of any player that I've ever. You know, it's such a terrible experience when you go out and see guys when they have issues like that. But he immediately had wide eyes and was talking. I'm good. Just make sure the guys get this win. We didn't, he was focused on the team.
I thought he did a pretty good job of that, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I know. So he had just had 6 catches too.
Yeah,
he was feeling it.
It was.
Matter of fact, he was vociferous before the game, saying, "Look, we got to get this turned around." I think that Tyreek Hill, the irony of this whole thing is he really bought into, look, this is who we are. We've got to get a win. Mm-hmm. And he had the 6 catches. I think the longest one was like for 28 yards. So he was feeling it, but it's just very unfortunate that he going out of bounds, the lower hit by the cornerback that literally just turned that leg around. I'll just be as descriptive as I can, really diving into it. Yeesh. And it was just one of those things where, you get that passing game going. He and Tua were feeling it. They were on the same page. Yep. And could have been a big game for him, but unfortunately got hurt and is out for the year, as you mentioned, Jimmy. All
right, let's take you then to the second game last night. This game was boring as hell. I can't tell you anything different. I can't sugarcoat it. If you're a Broncos fan, okay, you won. Big deal. Bo Nix, and he gets it going here because it was boring. Here we go.
Nix wants it on the ground. Touchdown, Denver.
Thank you to ESPN for the highlights, by the way. Manuch, I thought Bo Nix, and you referenced when we first came on, you hope he doesn't get the sophomore jinx, but they don't look right, meaning the Denver Bronco offense.
Yeah, even though he threw for 326 yards, it was just a very lackluster Bengals defense.
Yeah.
He was 29 for 42, had the 2 touchdown passes, the 1 interception. Just the Sean Payton offense doesn't look like the offense last year. Mm-hmm. Now, they got a very good defense, and that defense is going to have to carry them until they get their offense hitting on all cylinders. But it just doesn't look the same. He's missing a lot of throws that he hit last year.
Right.
In fact, they mentioned on the broadcast last night, he typically hits that. Receivers were out of position or the ball was behind receivers. 1 interception, the ball was thrown inside. He got tipped, where the ball's got to be thrown to the outside shoulder. So there's like a little finer nuances that if you watch Bo Nix last year, for a rookie, phenomenal job. For this year, it just seems like they're a little out of sync. But to your point, Jimmy B, at least they beat the woeful Cincinnati Bengals 28-3.
They did. Part of that reason, Cortland Sutton, he had a big game last night.
On 3rd down and 2, Nix, end zone, Sutton. He's got it. Touchdown.
So they complete that pass play, and at that time they led 21-3. The game was over.
Yeah,
right there.
And they went for it on a 4th and 1 in the first half too. And Nix rolled out. I think he was looking to throw to Sutton as well too, but he just missed it. He got intercepted, as a matter of fact. I think at that point, if your offense is struggling to get the 3 points, I was surprised by the play call. So there's a lot of early play calling decisions by the offensive coordinators around the National Football League versus I think what you might see midseason. And I think a lot of that is the trust in the run game, whether they can make it was longer than yards, almost like a 4th down and about 2, which if you're 4th and 2 or 4th and goal from the 2, you got to get the points in. You got to get the 3 points.
Here's Bo Nix then after the game about the Broncos win and the offense.
Just running the ball efficiently really helped. We stayed out of 3rd and long, and we were 1st down, 2nd down, 1st down. So didn't have many. I mean, we had a few 3rd downs, but it wasn't a 3rd down game. We weren't just sitting in 3rd down all day. So that helps. And then, running the ball is great for the offense.
Yeah, they did. They averaged 5 yards per carry. They were about 186 yards on the night. A good night as far as rushing the football, but still their continuity with the passing game, just not quite there. Yeah, it's a good win. You pound the football, and your defense literally just shuts out the Cincinnati Bengals, who went right down the field the opening drive. They got the 3 points. In a game like that on the road, you got to get to 7. But shut out the rest of the time. So this Broncos team, they'll be fine, but they're just going to have to hone this passing game a little bit, much like they did last year.
When we come back after a quick timeout, Nick Piecoro is going to join us. We are indeed going to talk Arizona Diamondbacks baseball. We already know that Torey Lovullo is going to be the manager again next year, which leads us to our State 48 Roofing question of the day. State 48 Roofing, #1 referred roofer in Arizona, probably serving the state, residential, commercial markets for over a decade, and for a free quote repair or installation. Just head to state48roofing.com. You can always follow them on social media by searching #SexyRoofStatus. Here's the question. You outdid yourself here, Manuch. Should Torey have kept his job as manager of the D-backs? Should Torey have kept his job as manager of the D-backs? 2 options, yes or no. A lot of pressure on your brain when you did that one.
Torey Lovullo.
Yeah, that's what I said. Torey, the skipper.
Torey, Lori Volek. Give him the accolades.
I did. I said his last name.
Yes, you said Torey.
Oh, my gosh. Here we go.
Torey Lovullo, right?
Man.
Okay.
Just Torey's. I'm good with that. Nick Piecoro is coming up next, everybody. But first, we have an ESPN 620 update. Here is Connor.
It's now time for your Roc Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 update. I'm Connor Collins. The Arizona Cardinals have announced plans for a brand new $100 million practice facility at the Tempe site set to open in 2027, aiming to fix the league's worst player survey grades for their current setup. Over in baseball, the Diamondbacks confirmed manager Torey Lovullo will return for 2026, despite a disappointing finish to the year. And on the hardwood, the Phoenix Mercury are headed back to the WNBA Finals after stunning the top-seeded Minnesota Lynx, rallying late in Game 4 to clinch the semifinal series. Join us for our third watch party on Saturday, October 11th at Backyard in Gilbert as the Sun Devils head to Utah. Kickoff is at 7:15 on ESPN. Incredible Dos Equis Street specials, plus at halftime, 25 people will roll the jumbo dice for their chance to win $10,000. Dos Equis Backyards, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's official home for all Sun Devil road games. Nick Piecoro joins the guys next.
It's back. Sign up now for the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B annual Pro Football Pick'em contest, powered by all 5 Twin Peaks locations. Pick the winners each week, score great prizes all season long, and earn bragging rights until next year. And don't forget, the guys are live every Thursday from 1 to 4 to kick off your football weekend at one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks lodges. It's free to play and easy to join. Just head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com, powered by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views, and your home for pro football.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Roc is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Roc is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Roc is the way to go.
I'm Kevin Rowe from Lerner and Rowe, and we've been serving Arizonans for 20 years. Make the best choice after an accident. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Lerner and Roc is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Living with a neurological condition can make everyday tasks feel overwhelming. Whether it's stroke, Parkinson's, or multiple sclerosis, you don't have to face it alone. Physical therapy helps people with neurological conditions regain strength, improve balance, and enhance mobility. With personalized therapy plans, a PT will focus on what you need to live life with confidence. Step by step, you can regain independence and reclaim your life. Visit aptaaz.org and find a physical therapist near you.
Pima JTED doesn't just work for students, it works for all of Arizona. Hands-on training, real-world skills. High school students become job-ready, and Arizona businesses get the talent they need to thrive. Without a skilled workforce, Arizona can't grow. But with Pima JTED graduates, our entire economy prospers. Join the businesses already investing in Arizona's future. Learn more at PimaJTED.org. That's PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on their new home, ESPN 620.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. We roll all the way till 4 o'clock. We always love having Nick Piecoro on. He is the D-backs writer with the Arizona Republic and azcentralsports.com. You can always find him on X at Nick Piecoro. Again, that's at Nick Piecoro. Nick, welcome as always. So yesterday we had a debate. Should Torrey stay or should he go? It was Roc who suggested that he felt they needed a new voice in the clubhouse. Manuch said you can't do that with all of the injuries and everything that they had to go through. And I rode the fence. I said I can make a case either way. I can make a case either way. Nick, where are you on with the manager staying?
Yeah, I mean, I think making a case either way makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, I think we can't be blind to the fact that Torrey's, had a decent amount of success here, all things considered, the last few years. They went on that great run in 2023, went all the way to the World Series. They won 89 games last year. I know they didn't get in, but that's a pretty good season. And then this year, I don't know. You take a step back and you think about the fact that they had all those injuries in the first half, that they sold at the trade deadline, and that they were still in it until game 160. It's just hard to look at all those things and say now's the time to change managers. I mean, but that said, look, I do understand. It's been 9 years. They've made the playoffs 2 times in that stretch. A lot of times you hear people, whether it's in baseball or other sports, just believe that it's time for, a bit of a shakeup, a fresh voice, just a new perspective, and maybe see how that works with the same group of guys. I think, too, you can look at some of the decisions that he made in game that didn't work out. And, I don't think that is necessarily, Torrey's greatest strength. It is worth remembering though that the day before the controversy about having Perdomo bunt, he managed himself into a great matchup and had Adrian Del Castillo hit a pinch hit home run, and they wound up winning that game against the Dodgers. But that said, I think, Torrey's real strength is getting the most out of his guys and getting guys playing hard for him, communicating with them, having buy-in from his players. A lot of the stuff that you don't necessarily, it just doesn't show up as readily in games or in the box scores, right? And those are things that I think if you would talk to the Diamondbacks people, they would, Mike Hazen and company, they'd tell you that that's the stuff that they believe is the most important part of a manager's job. And they think he does it really well.
Nick, and after you've talked to Mike Hazen yet, was he surprised how well this team was only 2 games back with 3 to go as far as that last wild card spot? And would he have, obviously hindsight's 20/20, I get it, but he might have thought twice about selling the farm and seeing how well they did here with 3 games to go?
Yes, he was certainly surprised that the team that he had on the field got that far. I don't think anybody, him included, thought that was the case when they were, when they got to the second half or, the post deadline stretch there starting in Sacramento on August 1st. Nobody thought that's where they were going to be finishing up on September 28th. Does he have second thoughts about that? Like, I don't think you can operate that way. When they made those deals, the third wild card spot in the National League was on pace to be about 89.5, 90 wins. They were 51 and 57 or something like that at the deadline. It just didn't seem like it was going to be their year. And you have all those impending free agents. Are you going to get just nothing for them or take 1 draft pick for each guy? Or are you going to get some real players that are going to help you in the future? I don't see how anybody can reasonably second guess that. The other thing that I think is a little dishonest for people that are second guessing it, and I mentioned this, all those teams were heading toward 90 wins, was the Mets collapse. Like, no one could have expected a Mets team that had the best record in baseball after 70-something games to end up playing their way out of the postseason and playing so poorly that an 83-win Reds team gets into the postseason. I just don't think, if we're all being fair, I just don't think you can say that they did anything wrong. Hindsight being 20/20, if you add it all back, would you maybe kept Merrill Kelly and kept Shelby Miller and added a bullpen out like force? Yeah, but you can't have seen any of this coming.
Yeah, Nick, I think that's very fair. I think we all felt that way, that this team was going nowhere fast. Do we ever suspect the Mets have that kind of collapse? But after it's all said and done, listening to some of the interviews that Ken Kendrick had, managing general partner for the Diamondbacks, was it a collaboration with he and Mike Hazen, or was it ultimately his decision to keep Torrey?
Was it ultimately Ken's decision to keep Torrey?
Yeah.
I would guess that they all kind of felt similarly. And like you said, listening to Kendrick yesterday on the radio, he was on with John Gamador and Dave Burns. Mm-hmm. It sure sounded like he could see the positives that Torrey brings and understood the circumstances that Torrey was operating under and just how fair or how unfair it would be to judge him based off of those things. Right. I think possibly that, maybe at one point earlier this season, or maybe many points earlier this season, he might've been thinking differently. But I do wonder if the way that the club played over the last 2 months did some good for Torrey's job security. Did those guys play so well that it bought Torrey another year? Maybe. I'd still be surprised if Mike Hazen and his group would have wanted to make a change, but is it possible that they would have, that ownership would have said, sorry, we this is how we feel, and we feel like this needs to happen. Yeah, I think that's possible.
is it problematic or not at all that he has 1 year remaining on his contract?
Well, I think that I wrote this just a couple days ago. I think he went into 3 consecutive seasons, 2021, 2022, and 2023 on 1 year deals as a lame duck manager all of those years. So I mean, I don't think it matters. I think Torrey seems to always get guys to play for him, and I don't see why this would be any different. I mean, I would almost say like it matters less for him, not only because of how he's done in the past, just like he's done it so many times before, than it would for any other manager. I think he's kind of used to that.
All right, Nick. So we move on. We look at the house cleaning, so to speak, for this team moving forward. Zach Gallen's got to be at the very top of the list as far as qualifying offer or fair market offer. When does that start to happen? When will those discussions happen? And just to clarify, will the D-backs have first right of refusal if anybody steps up and makes an offer above and beyond?
I don't know. I mean, there's nothing like binding them or Gallen to the Diamondbacks. So like, no, I mean, if he gets an offer he wants and decides to take it, he can just take it. Yeah. So I don't, if you're asking like, is Gallen like promised the Diamondbacks that sort of treatment? I don't know about that. He's going to get a qualifying offer from these guys at the end of the World Series, which is going to be, a 1 year deal around 22, 23 million, something like that, which he's going to turn down and he's going to hit the market. And I think more than likely he's going to be gone. I think the way that he pitched over these last couple months has put him in a position to be one of the more sought after starting pitchers on the market, and that he'll get paid accordingly. And I don't think the Diamondbacks, who, again, listening to Ken yesterday on the radio, are going to be upping their payroll and going to be in a place where they can afford to match what other teams are going to be able to spend. Now, look, I mean, I think a couple of years ago, if you'd asked me, how much money is Jordan Montgomery going to get as a free agent coming off his World Series run with Texas, I would have said he's getting a 9-figure deal and he's going to do just fine. And it didn't work out that way. So not trying to sit here and, say never type of thing when it comes to Gallen. I don't think things sometimes don't develop the way that you think. Guys end up coming back sometimes unexpectedly. I just think it would take that sort of a scenario for it to work out for Gallen and the Diamondbacks.
Nick Piecoro is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Nick, what's the pitching staff going to look like? Because you're not going to have Burns. He's not going to be there. J. Mart, he's not going to be there. Montgomery, we don't know about him.
Zach Gallen looks like he's going to be gone.
Zach Gallen looks like, according to you, looks like he's probably going to go. So do they go shopping in free agency, or is there enough in Reno to make it work?
No, I mean, I think they're going to have to find some solutions. I think you'd hope, if you're the Diamondbacks, that Merrill Kelly is interested in a return. I would guess that he would probably come back on a shorter, less expensive deal than what Gallen is seeking. He's a good bit older than Zach. And he has made no secret he would like to return. So I think you're hoping that that's one of those additions. And then I think that they're probably going to be active in the trade market, and maybe even signing another free agent starter if they can, to round things out. They've got some, interesting young arms and guys that could be, back end starters, or maybe more than that going forward. But I don't think that they're too eager to go into the season with any of those kind of depth starters, with any of those young pitchers as anything more than depth starters, right? So I think you look at Erod, you look at Fott, and you look at Nelson, and then you're hoping to plug 2 holes, and then you'd have guys like, Christian Nana and Dylan Ray and, a lot of other younger guys you guys probably don't know a ton about, that would be those depth options. I think it's going to be tough. You know, they do have some upper level bats, guys that are interesting prospects from the position player side that they could, you know, try to include in deals. But you know, they've got a lot of work to do there and in the bullpen. You know, as you mentioned, you know, Martinez, AJ Puck isn't going to be back right away either. And they need, you know, they might need 2-3 back end type arms right away. You know, the hope, I think, is that they can hold this team together and keep themselves in the race until Burns comes back in July, until Puck comes back maybe a little bit before that, and Martinez comes back in the second half, and you're looking at those guys almost as like trade deadline additions. But you know, that's a long ways from now.
Always great, pal. Always terrific information. Thank you, Nick. Don't be a stranger, okay?
Sounds good, guys. Thanks for having me.
You got it. That's Nick Piecoro, everybody. Arizona Republic, also azcentralsports.com. Once again, you can find him on X at Nick Piecoro. Again, that's at Nick Piecoro. And he's presented by All City Towing, and that's Arizona's largest towing company where your career can take off, and they are hiring dispatches, drivers, and so much more. You have steady work schedules, great benefits, plus a 401k company match. It's all available at All City Towing. Just go online and check out allcitytowing.com and search careers. Again, that's allcitytowing.com and search careers. It's All City Towing, where your future is on the move. All right, when we come back, a little on this day and some football at 50. Hey, look, we always appreciate you listening to us on ESPN 620 and on the FM dial at 98.7 HD-2. You can also find us on the web. We're streaming on Arizona Sports app and at arizonasports.com.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters, and Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roc is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roc is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Roc is the way to go.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Turner and Roc is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Mondays belong to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live from Biggs America Bar and Grill in Peoria. The guys broadcast every Monday from 1 till 4, right in P83, across from the Peoria Sports Complex at 83rd Avenue in Bell. Then stick around as they host that night's football game. Food, drinks, prizes, and a shot at cash. That's right. Each week, 20 fans get a chance to roll the dough for $10,000. $10,000 Mondays. Biggs Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Be there. Looking for the center of activity? Welcome to the Hub Grill and Bar in Ahwatukee, where the community comes together for food, fun, and the big game. With wall-to-wall big screens, mouth-watering burgers, wings, and an incredible lineup of local and craft beers, the Hub is where every guest feels like a VIP. Find us at Ray Road and 50th Street in Ahwatukee. Open daily for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch. The Hub Ahwatukee, your neighborhood center of activity.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks. the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Right Toyota On This Day report. Right Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Right Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, everybody. The good news is on this day, both Manuch and I woke up. So it's a good day because we're doing Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Manuch, what do you got?
Always a good day, Jimmy B. 1973, former St. Louis Cardinal football player. Mel Gray begins an NFL streak of 121 consecutive games with receptions. 1990, Major League Baseball, Chicago White Sox beat the Seattle Mariners 2-1 in the last game at Comiskey Park in Chicago.
The old Comiskey.
You ever do a broadcast?
I did a game from old Comiskey and from the new Comiskey as well.
Why do we the thing that sticks out to me about Comiskey Park, besides Greg Luzinski at Comiskey, is the disco demolition that happened in 1979, I believe it was.
Here's
what a debacle that turned out to be.
That was awful. They had to can the game. It was terrible. Here's the deal on that, because I know firsthand because I was in Oakland when this was taking place. So in Chicago that night, they had disco demolition, and in Oakland, the Bee Gees were playing at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum to 55,000 people.
What an oxymoron
and I was
that
in the
is.
crowd.
That's an oxymoron.
I know.
They're demolishing disco.
Yes.
And you got the Bee Gees in Oakland Alameda Coliseum.
Yeah.
Love the Bee Gees.
I did.
I'd have been there as well,
I was
too.
in the discos, man. I love that stuff.
Hey, 1992, Kansas City Royal George Brett gets 4 hits to become the 18th player to achieve 3,000 hits. And in 1997, the Yankees, Tim Raines, Derek Jeter, Paul O'Neill, are the first to hit 3 home runs consecutively in the postseason and an 8-6 win over then called the Cleveland Indians. That's a little bit of On This Day.
I like it. All right, let's do some football at 50. It's presented by the Hub Grill and Bar in Ahwatukee, your neighborhood center of activity. Ray Road and 50th Street. They have wall-to-wall big screens, burgers, wings, and local craft beers. The Hub is where every fan feels like a VIP. By the way, we will be at the Hub doing this world-class radio program next Wednesday. Again, Ray Road and 50th Street, Ahwatukee. Be there or be square. We will see you at the Hub in Ahwatukee next Wednesday.
Not good news for the New York Giants fans. Malik Neighbors out for the season. He suffered the torn ACL in this last weekend's game, expected to miss the remainder of the season. He ended the week leading the team in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. That was so awkward. He jumped up and just came down really weird. He didn't make a cut.
No.
It's the way that he came down on the knee. And
I think he tore it on the jump.
It was on the jump?
Yeah,
You think
if you
it
look
was?
on the replay, right as he jumps off the ground, you see him kind of twitch and grab towards that knee. That's why he never really went up to try to catch that ball. He immediately felt it once he went on the jump.
I've never seen an ACL injury. It's usually a cut.
Yeah.
Cut right or left.
Yeah.
A guy jumping in the air. I thought it was when it came down.
I've seen it only just because off the top of my head. It happened recently a few years ago to Michael Gallup on the Cowboys. That's how he tore his ACL there. It was one of those where he went to jump, and right as he kind of took that extension, you could see that guy just, grab at his knee.
Speaking of ACLs, we talked about earlier, Tyreek Hill out for the year. He dislocated the knee and tore multiple ligaments, including that ACL. The injury is season ending. That was so bizarre because the only other individual I've seen a leg go the other way was Napoleon McCallum. And he's with the Raiders.
I remember that with the Raiders, yes.
And he actually severed a tendon.
Yeah.
And question for you, Manuch.
Yeah.
When you saw that happen, when he was getting carted off the field, was he celebrating and cheering?
Gosh. Yeah, he was smiling. It was, and we heard a little bit earlier from Coach McDaniels say that's the best I've ever seen anybody with an injury. He was happy. He was smiling.
It's almost like he was happy his season was done with, too.
Yeah. I mean, but you know what? He was having a hell of a game.
He was having a great game.
6 receptions already. You're going, okay,
yeah,
maybe Tua and him.
Yeah.
And then get this passing game going. And then that happens. But, hey, Connor, thanks again for that screenshot there.
I'm glad you didn't show it to me.
Yeah, I was having a cod salad there, Biggs. And had to take
You might have had salad all over you, man, if I saw that.
Yeah. I took a 20-second timeout.
Oh,
Just wait a second. The Browns are looking to acquire offensive tackle Cam Robinson to shore up their tackle spots. Trading for Robinson to help protect Joe Flacco in the offensive line woes. I got to tell you what, and a little bit of a hint as far as Manuch's clipboard report, leaning toward the Cleveland Browns. They are woeful right now. I'm talking about a team full of promise, and it just goes to show you that blind side is so vitally important, as Connor will tell you, being that left tackle, and even the right tackle, that front side. But I want to make sure, if in doubt, hold them, grab them. If you get a holding call, that's okay. My back won't be blown up. But looks as though Cam Robinson is going to be going to the Cleveland Browns. Sean McDermott, head coach of your Buffalo Bills, now has 90 career wins, placing him among elite names in NFL history. Think about that. You know, he's an assistant for how many years at Carolina?
Right.
He's got 90 wins now.
Well, they're good.
In Buffalo. This, you know what? I think the stars are aligning for the Buffalo Bills.
Finally.
I hope so.
Finally.
I hope so.
Yeah.
They'll the old stadium out with the new and out with the old, in with the new. Highmark will be no more next year. I believe it's supposed to be ready.
It is
in Buffalo.
Yep.
Supposedly, and
it looks great.
Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful stadium.
Yeah.
Also, the Saints trade for wide receiver Jalen Polk. They pick up New England Patriots receiver in reference to what they have. He's also coming with a shoulder injury. So getting Jalen Polk, they need some receiver help. Again, this is, Spencer Rattler's not doing a bad job as far as throwing the ball.
Okay.
They can't get the ball down the field.
No, they can't.
He's averaging, per average, I always bring this up in Manuch's clipboard report as far as the quarterbacks of the good, honorable mention, and the bad, is how many yards are they getting per completion? Well, most guys usually make it anywhere from 8.5 to 11. He's averaging 4.6. So a lot of dink and dunking, a lot of crossing routes. I don't know if Kellen Moore just can't stretch the field, or if he doesn't have the protection for Spencer Rattler, or whatever it is. Those are some of the things you look at and go, well, okay, you can throw it, horizontally. When are you going to be able to get the ball down the field vertically? So I think that when you look at some of the receivers that are out there and available, I think that's the one thing that they're looking for. And also, I'll add this. We talked about this a little bit earlier. I think we've all been looking to see if there'll be any kind of a trade for a quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals to help out Browning at all or replace Browning, because they've got the horses. They've got the linemen. They don't have the running game, but they've got the linemen. They got the receivers. They got the tight end. They've got the defense. And we recommended, looking at Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston.
Either one.
Making a trade for either one of them. And, I don't know, maybe get a 6th-round pick.
Yeah.
Move on and get some insurance or get somebody to help come in there and instill some life. Rippon is the current backup quarterback for
Not
the
good
Bengals
enough.
right now.
Not good enough.
That ain't going to happen.
No.
I think you need a bona fide, legitimate starter.
Yes.
And get him after 4 games and get him in the fold. Get him going, and so you can somewhat hopefully salvage this season for the Bengals.
Manuch, they're 2-2. They are far from being out of it at all. And if you were to acquire Russell Wilson, he's the guy who could walk in and be your starter within a week.
He could. And Jameis Winston, they're both.
Yeah. Jameis is smart too. Yep.
Jameis has probably got the stronger arm and the more mobility.
Yes, that's fair. Hey, once again, Football at 50, powered by the Hub Grill and Bar in Ahwatukee. Don't forget, we will be broadcasting the show from the Hub in Ahwatukee on Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we will be at the Hub, Ray Road and 50th Street in Ahwatukee. All right, when we come back, Major League Baseball playoffs are underway. It includes the Dodgers. Yep, they're going to be playing as well. And the Sun Devils are trying to gear up for the next big game, which will be at Utah. Kevin Turner will be our guest at 2:30. It is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I'm opening my own coffee shop.
I smell a caffeinated catastrophe.
And I needed menu boards and banners printed.
What you really needed was a reality check.
Staples really came through. They printed menus and signs, even flyers in time for my grand opening.
And that's when the other shoe dropped.
Not quite. I got $125 off my custom print order.
Cha-ching! For your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. Valid in-store and online. Ends 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at ArizonaSports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
There's a high drive, left center field. It is gone! A drive and 55. Shohei Ohtani continues to rewrite the record books. He breaks his own franchise record for home runs in a single season.
All right, thank you to Sportsnet LA for the highlight. Shohei doing his thing, and the Dodgers and the Reds are going to be doing their thing, which means we have Jerry Hairston, Dodgers post-game host on Spectrum Sportsnet. You can follow him on X, The Real J Hair. I love that. At The Real J Hair. All right, J Hair, what do you got for us today, pal?
I love when guys say my X handle. You know, it's funny. I didn't make that X handle. I wasn't social media aware when I was a player, so I didn't have Twitter or now X. I didn't have Instagram. So Matt Kemp and D. Gordon are the ones who set up my account, and they gave me The Real J Hair on there. So that's how I got my IG call and Twitter account.
That's a great story, and it's awesome, Jerry. It really is. All right, take me to the game. Look, the Dodgers payroll is like $963 billion.
I'll give or take.
And the Reds' payroll is like 38 cents. So how do you see this matchup coming up?
Well, again, it's baseball. Again, this is not football. This is not the NFL where at the end of the season it's going to be you have your quarterbacks. You're going to be Patrick Mahomes going to be in the AFC Championship game. Josh Allen's going to be in the AFC Championship game, or maybe Lamar Jackson. That's usually the case in the NFL. Baseball is baseball. It's 162 games. You have guys. It's a 26-man roster, but you really use 35 to 40 guys throughout the course of the season if you're lucky. Some teams, because of injury, 45 to 50. So the Reds have incredible young pitching, led by Hunter Green. He's going to get the ball tonight. He throws about 100, 101 miles an hour. He's an L.A. kid, L.A. native. He knows, what's at stake. He wants the ball. So the Dodgers have their work cut out for him. So it doesn't matter how much money you spend. This is baseball. Everybody has a chance with the farm system, international spending, draft, developing players. The Reds have done a pretty good job developing players. So the Dodgers better be on their A game, or the Reds could find a way trying to steal a game one, especially Hunter Green on the mound.
Joe, it's interesting because between the Diamondbacks, the Reds, and the Mets, we were on, the third wild card spot watch. If you can imagine what the Diamondbacks did was almost amazing. But watching these Reds these last 2 or 3 weeks, what's been the go time for them? Has it been really the pitching, the hitting? I mean, they were hitting lights out. They had a little bit of a slump, but all of a sudden they just caught fire and overtook everybody here on the last day.
Well, they got talent. That's one thing that we as the Dodger people over here understand. They have ability. Anytime you have elite pitching like they do, if you look at the numbers, the Reds have that better ERA than the Dodgers. From starting staff to relief pitching. So coming into this series, they feel they have the better arms, the better pitching. Obviously, the Dodgers have more experience. Guys like Blake Snell, Yamamoto, Shohei Ohtani as well. But they feel very confident. They're playing good baseball. They play together. And make no mistake about it, they have one of the best managers in the history of the game, Terry Francona. Terry Francona knows exactly what he's doing, especially managing a ball club, knows how to navigate lineups, knows how to navigate his bullpen along with the starting staff. So, everybody's saying, it's the mighty Dodgers. They got a big payroll, which is true. But both teams have very talented players, and the Reds have a talented arms. And anytime you have talented arms, you have a puncher's chance.
And, Jerry, you got Blake Snell on the mound tonight, 6'4", 225, 5-4 on the year, 2.35 ERA. Talk about Blake Snell this year, just kind of what he's gone through and just kind of the progress he has as a pitcher versus now as a thrower.
Well, he's a two-time Cy Young Award winner. He won it both in the American League and National League. We got him a little late. He did start the season on the roster, but then he got injured. He missed a few months. So now he's well rested. His last few outings, man, has been outstanding. I just love his makeup. I love his fire, his passion. What I also love about Blake Snell, I mentioned the accolades. He is yet to win a World Series. So we signed him this offseason. He is hungry to hoist that championship trophy. So I love that he has a great fastball, 95, 97. But you mentioned he's a pitcher, not a thrower. I think his best pitch is his changeup. But ironically, the curveball the last couple of years, I think major league hitters are hitting about $115 off his breaking ball. That's how nasty he is. So he's a guy, he's got 3 elite pitches. He wants the ball. He wants all that smoke, as the kids say. So it should be a fun matchup, him against Hunter Green tonight.
Okay, so you just referenced the starters, and they are terrific. But once you have to go to the bullpen, it's like all hell breaks loose, Jerry. What is wrong with the Dodgers bullpen? And because they struggled down the stretch.
Did they run out of Rolaids down there this year? What the hell happened?
Well, it has been a struggle. Listen, I can't put it in. You put it better than I could have put it. It has been a struggle, no question about it. But I think what the Dodgers have done now, if you look at the roster, they put Tyler Glasnow on the roster. He's not going to start this series. So Tyler Glasnow goes to the bullpen. Emmett Sheehan, a lot of kids may not know that name. Get to know that name. Emmett Sheehan is absolute stud starter. He's now in the bullpen to go along with Roki Sasaki. So we have 3 elite arms that can run that fastball up anywhere from 98 to 101, 102 miles an hour. Emmett Sheehan's got a great slider as well to go along with a really good changeup. So we have 3 stud starters going into that bullpen to help out that bullpen. So this is the postseason. As you guys know, you have to get out late in games, 7, 8, 9. I think in the ideal world, plan A, tonight you have Blake Snell goes hopefully 6, 7 strong innings, and then maybe Emmett Sheehan comes in, pitches the 8th or 9th inning. I think that's what they kind of map out, to have those starters piggyback the starters that start the ball game.
All right, Jerry. So the baseball world, Dodger world, wants to know, what role will Ohtani play as far as pitching is concerned?
He's going to be a starter. Now, he is scheduled to be the number 3 starter if it is necessary.
Okay.
I think, in the perfect world, the Dodgers win the first 2 games and they win the series. And then if they win the first 2 games and win the series, then you have Shohei Ohtani as the game 1 starter in the NLDS against the Philadelphia Phillies. I think that is the perfect world. But if there's a 3rd game necessary, Ohtani will get that 3rd game and then let the chips fall where they may, who starts game 1 in the NLDS. But right now, Shohei Ohtani is a starter as the playoffs start.
So what did Ohtani do? I know he went 6 innings, maybe his last outing. Did they build up to the innings and they feel comfortable enough that he can go good, at least a good strong 6, maybe 7 if they need to?
His last start, he pitched 6 innings. He's built up.
Okay.
He's a full go.
Okay.
So he's going to be a starter, ticketed if necessary this series. And then, as you guys know, listen, once you go series to series, things can change. Maybe injuries happen with a relief pitcher or starter, so you navigate series to series. So, but as of right now, Shohei Ohtani is slated as a starter.
Okay. I thought what the Dodgers did with Clayton Kershaw and him pitching his final regular season game, it was terrific how that all worked out. And not only that, he still has gas in the tank, Jerry.
He does. It's amazing. It's been fun to watch Clayton. And I faced him when he first came up in the big leagues with electric stuff. Then I became his teammate, still having the electric stuff. And I just love the way he's able to get outs and use all his pitches. He even has a forkball now, splitter, to add to his repertoire. It's been fun to watch. Kind of reminds me of like a Kobe Bryant, where we know Kobe Bryant was a high flyer, fun to see, above the rim. And then as his career, went to 18, 19, 20 years, he had that post-up game, instead of being the high flyer. That's what Clayton Kershaw's become. He doesn't throw that 95 to 97-mile-an-hour fastball anymore, but he still has 88, 89, 91, and still has that devastating breaking ball and slider. So hopefully he gets another chance to pitch. We advance to the NLDS. He's going to be in that bullpen to help out guys if necessary.
Jerry, speaking of advancing, are you sitting down? Your hands are 10-2. Your Bears are 2-2 after smoking the Cowboys and beating the Raiders. Blocking the punt, field goal. Is everything okay in Chicago? I mean, did hell freeze over? I didn't get the memo.
No, everything's fine. I think we should be 3-1. That's the problem. We're 2-2. We're not satisfied with 2-2. I thought the Bears let Game 1 against the Vikings slip through their fingers. Mm-hmm. I didn't like that one bit, but it is what it is. You're 2-2. You still need to get better. I love the way Caleb Williams is playing. He's led that comeback in that 4th quarter. He has really come on as a quarterback. Him and Ben Johnson, I think they're going to really have a great rapport. The Bears still need an edge rusher. We still need an edge rusher, and we need to get that running game going. If we get those 2 things going, look out.
Hey, let me ask you this, give you about 45 seconds to answer. The Diamondbacks say that the manager, Torey Lovello, is staying, and you got a chance to see the Diamondbacks down the stretch as they were still trying to play for that final National League playoff spot. What do you take away from how their season went?
Well, I think losing Corbin Burns crushed you guys. Mm-hmm. Anytime you lose an ace like that, that puts a damper on your season. I love the way that they fought, and they really fought to the end. So that speaks volumes to me as far as how the players react to their manager. They didn't give up. When they traded some of their guys away at the deadline, the players played hard for their manager. So I have a feeling they're going to be buyers in the offseason because they're not far away. They're not. and maybe you guys get Corbin Burns back late in the season. I don't know if they deemed him that he's going to be out for the rest of the season next year, but maybe you get him back in August, September. There's plenty of talent on that team. So listen, I love the way they fought, and it showed to me the character of that team and the character of their manager. The manager certainly had those guys ready to play.
Always great, pal, when you take time with us. Enjoy the playoffs.
Good luck, Jerry.
Real J Hair. Real J Hair. You're the best. Thank you. There you go. He is Dodgers pre- and post-game show host for Spectrum Sportsnet Los Angeles. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk some Cardinal football as they get ready for the matchup against the Titans. Hey, if you're looking for a great place in Ahwatukee, call it the center of activity. Well, I've got the spot for you. It's the Hub Grill and Bar, Ray Road and 50th Street, and that's where the community comes together for food, fun, and, of course, to watch the big game. Now, here's what makes the Hub different. They go the extra degree. You know the saying, at 211 degrees, water's hot. But at 212 degrees, it boils. That's one extra degree, which creates steam powerful enough to move a train. And that's the energy that the Hub brings every single day. Now, we're talking wall-to-wall big screens, so you never miss a play. The food is sensational. Mouth-watering burgers, wings. I had the HFC Bowl just last night. It was fabulous, and they have a great lineup of local and craft beers. Now, whether you're catching the game with friends, grabbing dinner with the family, or stopping in for weekend brunch, the Hub makes every guest feel like a VIP. So head to the Hub. The Hub Grill and Bar, Ahwatukee, open daily for lunch, dinner, and brunch. It's the Hub, your neighborhood center of activity.
Tired of the same old weekend routine? Then head to Putting World. Experience an elevated 18-hole golf adventure, followed by delicious eats, handcrafted cocktails, and live music at our chef-driven restaurant, Bar 19. Enjoy daily specials and happy hour deals that are sure to keep your wallet happy. Birdies, bites, and brews await. Check out this week's live music schedule at puttingworld.com, or just swing on by Putting World, located in the Scottsdale Promenade. Eat it, drink it, sink it. Putting World.
It's time to make plans to join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B for another Dos Equis Sun Devils watch party. ASU hits the road to face Utah Saturday, October 11th at Backyard Gilbert. This is your ultimate tailgate. Elevated bar favorites in the game on massive LED walls. And at halftime, 25 fans get a shot to roll for dough for $10,000. See you there, Sun Devil fans. All season long at Backyard Desert Ridge and Backyard Gilbert.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage. It's about creating your safety net, personal, reliable, and supportive. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with a personal touch that's close to home. With Crest, you're not only protecting what matters most, but also helping to build stronger, more resilient communities. Crest Insurance, service you can count on.
Who wants to hit LA? Sign up for the Twin Peaks Gridiron Getaway, powered by Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Grand prize, 2 tickets to see the Cards at the Rams January 4th at SoFi Stadium, hotel at the West in LA, and a $500 Visa card. Runner-up scores a $500 big game tailgate at Twin Peaks for you and 9 friends. Scan to score at Twin Peaks or text PEAKS to 59925 to enter. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views, and football dreams.
Chronic absenteeism is on the rise.
Sophia A. absent. Julio M. absent.
These absences are often due to the absence of crucial needs like food, transportation, and healthcare.
Olivia H. absent. Preston L. absent.
But site coordinators from communities and schools connect kids to the resources they need so they show up prepared and ready to learn.
Jacob O. present.
Visit communitiesinschools.org. Being present matters.
Forgot something inside or picking up food from the store? Never leave a child in a car. In Arizona, heat stroke can happen in seconds. Temperatures can rise 20 degrees in just 10 minutes, making a vehicle dangerously hot. Heat stroke can happen even in the shade or when it's below 60 degrees outside. Once you park, always remember to stop, look, and lock. Visit heatstroke.az.gov to learn more. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Let's get back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B now on ESPN 620.
Snap to Murray, four-man Seattle rush. Murray drops back, now throws it deep left side end zone. Harrison goes up and stabs it for a touchdown. What a catch by Harrison. A huge score for the Cardinals.
About damn time that he made a catch.
I was thinking the same thing. When he caught that, high pointed the ball, made the catch, secured it, and he got on and he said, thank the good Lord. Said, finally. Even he said, finally.
Yeah, really. Welcome back, everybody. Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. Here at ESPN 620, we are going to dive into the Cardinals offense, or really lack thereof, because my esteemed colleague, the one, the only, the quarterback guru, Dan Manucci, has some things to say, and why the offense is sputtering the way that it is. Now, I stated earlier, this is a slump buster game coming up for the Cardinals. Manuch indicated they should win 90-0. I don't know if it'll be that good, but they should take care of business
This
here.
should be a 42-7, 42-3 game. They should absolutely blow the doors off this team. And, you always call it a slump buster. I call it get healthy. I call it a glorified scrimmage is what they need to have, because you look at this team moving forward, and you basically got the gauntlet after this game. I mean, you've got to blow the doors off of this team, this Tennessee Titans team, because you got to go at Indianapolis. Then you got Green Bay here, at Dallas, who seems to have caught a little bit of traction there at Connor Collins.
Yeah.
And then you got at Seattle, and then San Francisco. Right now with San Francisco, we don't know where they're going to be by November 16th. Okay, we're looking about a good month and a half ahead of time. Then you got San Fran, Jacksonville's much improved, Tampa, LA. I can go on and on. There's really no little sisters of the poor. Maybe Cincinnati if they can't go get things corrected.
I agree with that.
Toward the very end of the year. So when you get a game with Tennessee coming in here this weekend, you have got to get right. And what I mean is just hell bent for leather, just run the hell out of the ball, execute your pass plays, get after Cam Ward, shut their running game down. Just shut them down so you feel good traveling to Indianapolis next week. And everybody goes, well, this could be a trap game. There's no way. Since Tennessee's the JV team in the National Football League, there's no trap game here. You should win this game and win it outright going away. So if this isn't a 35-7 or 42-3 or 42-10 win by the Arizona Cardinals, then there's something wrong.
Okay.
You got to blow the doors up, because Tennessee is just woeful right now.
All right, let me follow up then, because we had a discussion off air. Now we're going to have it on air. You are not real pleased with offensive coordinator Drew Pensing's calls so far. Is that just because lack of the running game, or is there something else?
To be fair to Drew, right now he's trying to figure it out.
Okay.
And you just said it there, Jimmy. There's no running game. Lack of running game. I mean, when you have basically 89 yards of rushing, 41 of your quarterback. So let's just take Kyler Murray out of it, okay? They've got 48 yards total from the running backs.
That's it.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you make changes up front, if Will Hernandez finally can get in there at right guard. He's supposed to have played by the fourth game, was on the PUP, and he's not playing. So I just think a couple things here. If they can establish a running game or establish their techniques, whether they're zone blocking or they're man-to-man blocking, and just have a hell of a day, making sure they feel good about themselves. Because when you go to Indianapolis, it's going to be a whole different kind of game, okay? So maybe he focuses, don't give up on the running game. You got to work it. The other thing, too, I think, is just Trey Benson getting the workload. Can he handle the workload game in and game out? So I think what he's going to have to do is it's going to have to be running back by committee. Carter was elevated last week, so he played. You got DeMarcado. You have, you got Light playing. So you've got a group of guys that I think it's going to be, you can't really settle on one guy. I think DeMarcado will be more of your passing situation guy.
Okay, third down guy.
Third down guy. I think Benson can be your first and second down guy, but I don't think either one of them can handle the load like James Conner handled the load. They don't have that kind of strength. They don't have that kind of size. And on top of that, they don't have the reps in reference to be able to handle a full game. I mean, James Conner, 2 years ago when he was on a roll, the only time he ever came out, I think, was maybe on pass plays, maybe. But he was a bell cow. He was solid.
Yep.
So I think for Drew Petzing, he's still got to continue to focus. This would be a great game for Drew Petzing to call the game as if James Conner was playing. Focus on your running game. You can get some play action passing. Develop a passing game, which basically, if you get Kyler Murray to basically roll out, waggle, drop back, utilize your screen game. You can utilize the whole field now playing against this Tennessee Titans.
All right, now that it is Tennessee's secondary, aren't you going to take several shots down the field?
You can, but you don't want to be too anxious to do that. You want to go, okay, hey, we could throw the ball all day long, right? Well, you need to work on your running game. You need to work on your play action. You need to work on your pass plays in reference to let's run our regular passing schemes and then take the shots. Yes, they need to take more shots with Marv, with Dortch, and even with Weaver now in there playing. So they need to take advantage of those and take the shots. So again, there's three facets of the offense you got to work on. Number one, your running game. Number two, your running game. And number three, your running game. So you sure I'm going there?
Yeah, I do.
So if you can get healthy, feel good about yourselves, going into the Indianapolis game the following week, you're going to need that. So this is a get good healthy, and get confident.
Okay.
I call it the three gets if you're going to move on and play the big boys of the National Football League. And that's what you're going to need. So in fairness to Drew Petzing, whatever he dialed up last week, a couple things. That's a very good Seattle Seahawks defense.
They are.
Let's give them credit.
Yes.
Okay. And number two, if you can't run, good luck and good bowling. They tried play action passing. They tried pocket passing. They didn't roll out Kyler a lot last week. They did a couple of times, but they need to do that more often. But they sacked him 6 times.
I was going to say he was on his butt a lot.
So, in reference to what they need to do, the true litmus test will be next week against the Colts.
Okay.
This should be a slam dunk win. Now, this is interesting when I bring this up. So I'm out training my quarterbacks on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Cardinals, because they played Thursday. And I'm like, well, the Tennessee Titans are coming in. The Cardinals should whoop on them and get ready for Indianapolis. And my quarterback goes, you would think that, wouldn't you, Coach? And you know what? He's 10. No, he's 11. And he's been a Cardinal fan forever.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and goes,
he's 10. He's been a Cardinal fan for like 7 years.
He is, but he goes, Coach, sometimes these kids are astute, Jimmy.
They are. Yeah.
He goes, sometimes those slam dunk wins backfire on the Cardinals. I looked at him and went, you know what? You're right. So you can never say never. But this game, you can say never. You should never, ever lose to the Tennessee Titans this week.
All I can tell you is that Houston was in desperate need of a victory, and they shut them out 28-0.
And C.J. Stroud, my backup fantasy quarterback, got me some points, but Connor still kicked my butt. He's got all pros on his fantasy team. I thought I had a hell of a game, but I think Connor lapped me.
I scored over 150 points in fantasy football, and I lost. The guy I lost to had 180.
I felt pretty good about my fantasy team until I looked at the score. I think Connor had 160. I had like 74. Nice job, Minnesota defense.
Hey, everybody. When we come back, we're going to switch gears and go to ASU because the sideline reporter, Kevin Turner, is going to join us. They have a date, not this weekend, but the following weekend against the Utes in Utah. It's all coming up next right here. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. But first, here's Connor with our ESPN 620 update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 update. I'm Connor Collins. the Arizona Cardinals have announced plans for a brand new $100 million practice facility up in North Phoenix, taking over the old land that was set for the Coyotes. It's going to be set to open in 2027, and they're aiming to fix the league worst player survey grades on their current setup. Over in baseball, the Diamondbacks confirmed manager Torey Lovullo will be back to return for 2026, despite a disappointing finish to the year. And on the hardwood, the Phoenix Mercury headed back to the WNBA Finals after studying the top-seeded Minnesota Lynx, rallying late in Game 4 to clinch the semifinal series. Make sure you get in on our Twin Peaks Gridiron Getaway, your chance to win tickets to Cards at Rams in LA, hotel, travel, cash, plus runner-up with a $500 Twin Peaks Big Game Party. Scan the QR code at any of the 5 Twin Peaks or text us at 59925.
Craving sushi with a twist? Welcome to Rock Lobster, Chandler's vibrant and trendy sushi destination, where energy meets elegance. From bold wok-fire dishes to creative handcrafted rolls and cocktails, every bite brings the flavor. Every visit brings the vibe. Join us for lunch, dinner, or happy hour Monday through Friday, or even a date night. Find us at Price in Queen Creek and Ocotillo. That's Rock Lobster, where sushi gets social.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Summer is just around the corner. Is your roof ready for the monsoon season? Well, now's the perfect time to call State 48 Roofing for a free roof inspection. Don't wait until you're dealing with a leaky roof in the scorching heat. Protect your home today. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509. Keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing, the #1 referred roofer in Arizona. Proudly serving the Arizona residential and commercial markets for over a decade.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
At a time when children are in crisis, the Kids Mental Health Foundation envisions a future where mental health is a vital part of growing up, and support starts with all of us. At home, at school, at practice, everywhere kids are. The Kids Mental Health Foundation is the leading organization promoting mental health for children in the U.S. and has free tools and information developed by experts.
Having those resources is the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
Check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
It's time for your weekly Dos Equis Sun Devil Report. Powered by Backyard, Desert Ridge in Gilbert. With live DJs, reverse happy hour, and every ASU game this fall, it's Forks Up at Backyard, the Valley's ultimate game day destination. Stay locked in. Your Sun Devil Report starts now.
Levitt will throw on 3rd down. Steps up and throws deep. He's got Tyson open. Tyson makes the catch at the 20, at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, Devils! There is a 3rd down conversion for you. 57 yards on 3rd and 2. Levitt to Tyson, and the Sun Devils are back in this football game.
Thank you to Arizona Sports for the highlight, the big victory by ASU. Sold out crowd, by the way, at Mountain America Stadium. The guy was standing on the sidelines. He was soaking it all in. Of course, we're talking about ASU sideline reporter Kevin Turner. He joins us right now. Before we get into hardcore football, Kevin, I did not make that game. You're on the sidelines. People that I talked to that went to the game said the atmosphere was nuts. It might have been one of the loudest they had ever heard. Did you find it like that?
You know, it's interesting. I was just talking to one of my colleagues here in the office, and they said, God, it looked like it was nuts. And I said, to me, it's just the new normal. It's just the way it's been over the course of the last 8 home games that we've played. So did it stand out as louder than usual? No, it's what we are about now. It's about, Kenny imploring the Valley to activate, to come early, to be loud. The Inferno, the student section, it just continues to grow exponentially. It seems like each and every week we're adding, 2 more sections of students to the south end zone. And yeah, it was a late arriving crowd, but about the second series into the first quarter, Mountain America, she was packed and rocking.
Kevin, it looked like the field held up pretty good with all the rain. Kenny was complimenting the field crew in reference to having that field prepared. Does that field just drain really good? I know they put a new field in several years ago, but with we had almost like an inch of rain. How did it drain?
It looked just shy of 3 inches, Manuch. Wow. And I was in the middle of it coming in from La Quinta, California. And I can tell you, we got diverted off the 10, had to circumnavigate. I got to 32nd Street, then over to University, and there were cars. Water was over the hood. My wife's got an SUV with this button you can push that raises the car up. And I don't know, I have a little coupe sedan. If I had driven that over from La Quinta, I would have been in deep Bandini for sure. I might have been, swimming to Mountain America. But in any event, they've got an exotic French drain system under it, which is basically a network of PVC pipes that run that run perpendicular to the sidelines. And as the water goes in, they've got these holes that essentially collects water and then runs them out of wicks that water underneath out to a central drain system. And I went on the field, ran around before the game, and the top of that turf was sticky and tacky, and there was no ponding or puddling. So hats off to Coach Lenz and his agronomy staff were doing just an incredible job. They kept the tarp on it most of the afternoon, and then they pulled it off about 45 minutes before we went on the air. It was coming down like cats and dogs, and I was concerned about it, but doggone it, if that field didn't hold up, it was incredible, the job they did. And you have to credit the designers that put the time and energy and knowledge transfer into that system, because it worked flawlessly on Friday night.
Kevin Turner's our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. Okay, take me to the game, and then we'll get to the bye week and then the date following against Utah. Is it my perception right now that even though you're playing now top quality teams in the Big 12 Conference, that there are going to be no easy games? In other words, you're not going to get a 31-17 win or 31-10 win. They're all going to come down to the wire, similar to the NFL, where everybody says, well, there's so much parity. Is that taking place right now in the Big 12?
I think so, and I think we saw that last year as well. I mean, when you have a team like, Houston, who was scuffling last year, and they come up and they knock off, TCU last year, which was one of their, losses. So you do have to respect everybody in the conference top to bottom. It is as well balanced as a conference as you're going to find in college football. But you're right; it's kind of like the NFL.
And all that being said, it's fun to watch right now. But yeah. I got to tell you what, the one thing that I was telling Jimmy about was this defense for ASU to slow down the flying Walenda brothers, this TCU offense, to only allow them to score 7 points in that second half. I think a lot of that's overlooked because of the way the offense came on in the second half. But talk about the defense and some of the adjustments that they made to allow 17 in the first half, only 7 in that second half, Kevin.
I think it's just very disciplined. There's not too. I mean, we had some games going on. We had a couple inside twist games, but those don't necessarily account for all of those 13 tackles for loss and the 6 sacks. I mean, we were just taking care of our 111th, and we're getting home, men, as you've seen over the last 3 weeks, pretty much with a 4-man rush, leaving the 2 backers, to cover the curl and flat area. And then once that run is committed, our secondary comes up screaming with their hair on fire and delivering impact with a lot of veracity and bad intentions, I would say. But it's exciting. I mean, we forced three turnovers, and that, I don't know if you guys saw that, and I saw it in real time, and it was just a work of art what Prince Dorval was able to do on that strip sack. To wrestle that ball away from Josh Hoover was one of the best defensive plays I've seen in a long time. What a great effort by Prince Dorval with the 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss. Incredible individual effort, but it's just guys doing their 111th. Nobody's trying to be a hero out there, and that's kind of the hallmark of the Brian Ward defense. And you've heard Kenny, preach that ad nauseum along with Brian Ward. Just do your job. We don't need anybody to be a hero. And so far, you think about the last 3 opponents have all averaged over 500 yards total offense. We've held all of those opponents about 59% of their seasonal average. So just a little over 340 total yards. Think about TCU averaging 177 yards coming into this one. They got 10 net rushing yards out of their running back crew. I mean, that is a Herculean effort by our run-stop defense, and all those guys deserve a game ball in my book.
Kevin Prince, talking about what Kenny said to the game, that he finally got one, meaning that they work on that move as far as pushing and trying to strip the quarterback. And I tell my guys in training, both hands on the ball, especially when you move. I said, because if they can't get to you, they'll go and look to try to strip it. Well, in that case, he sacked him and stripped it. I didn't know he had the ball until they panned him coming out, because from the TV standard, you didn't see, you just thought that Hoover fell on the ball. What an incredible thing that they actually work on that during practice.
Yeah, I saw it in real time, and I was lined up right where directly across from me is where Prince, and I hollered up to Tim right away. I said, we got the ball. And, Tim was on it. And luckily, what I saw was true. Sometimes it can be an optical illusion. You're hoping that the outcome is what you want. And so I got to be careful when I'm spotting from time to time for Tim. He'll be blocked out or I'm blocked out. Sometimes I got a better view, and it's fun to be able to see that in real time. And it was, couldn't have come at a better time. And it just was amazing how we outscored TCU 27-7. And I think the big issue, and you saw them have trouble with it, was the wind was howling at the beginning of the game as the storm was coming out. That wind was quartering from the Superstition Mountains to South Mountain on a 45-degree angle. So, if you're sitting at home, basically on your radio dial, it's coming from my left hand, which is at about 10 o'clock, quartering to my right hand, which would be pointing at 4 o'clock. Back when we played, that whole area of the north end zone was closed, so we didn't have that kind of wind condition, but it was howling. And you saw them, flip the field on us with a 69-yard punt. We had a 26 and 25-yard punt, gave them a couple short fields. Sam was thrown into the wind, and then when he turned around, you heard the highlight. He just lofted that perfect spiral up with the wind to Jordan Tyson, and he just caught it in stride, and that was a piece of work.
All right,
that's an amazing execution of our deep ball, and it's good to see Sam. He hit 2 of those. He hit one to Jaron Hamilton, 2 into the wind as well.
All right, that's my follow-up question then. How impactful has wide receiver coach Hines Ward been? I don't think people realize the guy was an absolute stud in the NFL with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kevin, you're around them. How impactful has Hines been, particularly with Tyson?
Yeah, it's all about, there's a great book. It's called Talent's Never Enough. And that's the one thing that Hines Ward really harps on. You don't have to be talented to block and to get across the other side of the field and finish your route, even though you're not getting the ball. And, to be a good teammate, it's the attention to detail. It's the work ethic. It's getting to practice. If you're not 20 minutes early, you're late to practice, get there, take your extra reps. And then if you go to practice, guess who the last guy off the field is? It's Jordan Tyson. And Coach Hines has a saying. He says, you don't block, you don't get the rock. And these guys put a lot of pride into their craft, blocking for their teammates. So I think it's just a maturity. Jordan obviously is freakishly talented. We know, he's got I don't know what his vertical is, but I bet when he gets to the combine, he's going to be off the charts. But he just has the ability almost to get up and stay up. Like there's this David Copperfield levitation, superpower that he has. But he's freakishly talented. And then you couple that with work ethic, and then the trust now that Sam has, and that's where I've always said, you make the magic when you trust one another, and there's unconditional trust between those two guys. And when we have to have it, man, have you seen Jordan Tyson never not come down or execute? We had a big 4th down with Sam on a scramble drill. He was getting tackled. Jordan makes a sliding catch. And then on 4th, and you got to have it, he runs a quick inside-outside move, gets open in the end zone. Sam throws a laser, and Jordan just snatches it out of the night sky. There was never a doubt that he wasn't going to catch that touchdown pass.
Always great, pal. When you're on the show with us, you always make it better. Thank you. Have a good weekend off, okay?
Forks up. Go Devils.
There you go. That's Kevin Turner, everybody. You'll see him on the sidelines. ASU Radio sideline reporter. By the way, Kevin is presented by our third watch party. Yes, not this Saturday, but next Saturday. It's October 11th at Backyards in Gilbert. Sun Devils will be on the road at Utah. The game time in the evening, 7:15 on ESPN. They'll have incredible Dos Equis drink specials. Plus, if you're lucky, maybe even Manuch might buy you a dose. Plus, at halftime, 25 people roll the jumbo dice for their chance to win $10,000. Dos Equis, Backyard, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. It's our official all Sun Devil road games. Once again, we'll be at Backyards in Gilbert. All right, quick break. When we come back, random fact of the day, a little football at 50. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. Where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Mondays belong to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live from Biggs America Bar and Grill in Peoria. The guys broadcast every Monday from 1 till 4, right in P83, across from the Peoria Sports Complex at 83rd Avenue in Bell. Then stick around as they host that night's football game. Food, drinks, prizes, and a shot at cash. That's right. Each week, 20 fans get a chance to roll the dough for $10,000. $10,000 Mondays. Biggs Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Be there.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Turner and Rowe is the way to go.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
Looking for the center of activity? Welcome to the Hub Grill and Bar in Ahwatukee, where the community comes together for food, fun, and the big game. With wall-to-wall big screens, mouth-watering burgers, wings, and an incredible lineup of local and craft beers, the Hub is where every guest feels like a VIP. Find us at Ray Road and 50th Street in Ahwatukee. Open daily for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch. The Hub Ahwatukee, your neighborhood center of activity.
Millions of people experience pelvic floor issues. From bladder leaks to pelvic pain, pregnancy recovery to post-surgery rehab, Pelvic Health Physical Therapy can help. Pelvic Health PTs are specially trained to assess and treat the muscles, joints, and nerves of the pelvic region, helping people regain strength, control, and confidence. If you're dealing with discomfort, incontinence, or pain during daily activities, don't suffer in silence. Visit aptaaz.org and find a pelvic health physical therapist near you.
Mom, where are my keys?
Why do I have to take out the garbage? I'm too sick to go to school. Quit hogging the bathroom!
If you're having a hard time living with all the noise, it's even harder to live without it. One fake fentanyl pill could cost your child their life. Learn how to talk to your kids at talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Let's get back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B now on ESPN 620.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. We roll all the way until 4 o'clock. Time right now for Manuch's favorite segment, aside from his clipboard. It is the random facts of the day.
I thought this was very interesting.
Okay.
Did not know that until this morning. Former home run king Roger Maris never intentionally walked the year he hit his 61 home runs.
Are you serious?
They never intentionally walked him. Now he'll pop up. 61 home runs later, never was intentionally walked during that time. Now, Mickey Mantle,
they walked him.
They walked him several times. And also, the 60-plus home run mark has only been eclipsed 8 times in the history of baseball. Sammy Sosa accounts for 3 of those 8 times.
Wow.
3 times he did that. So those are your random facts of the day, Jimmy B.
All right. Appreciate that, my brother. A little football at 50 for you. It's always presented by Twin Peaks. And this Thursday, 49ers at the Rams game. We're going to kick it all off. Of course, Twin Peaks, Deer Valley, that's where we're going to be. They'll have pint specials at all 5 locations. And a reminder, UFC 320 also coming up. You can watch it live from Vegas, big light heavyweight title fight, and you can see it at Twin Peaks Lodge. All 5 will have the UFC fight. Once again, make that lodge Twin Peaks to enjoy football and UFC fights. Manuch, what do you have?
All right, Connor, give me a little football 50 love there. You got to have that music. Love that music.
There you go.
Well, here's some of the college headlines that are coming out now. Oregon quarterback Dante Moore becomes a new Heisman favorite after his 3-touchdown performance versus Penn State. By the way, I thought Penn State's offense, vanilla.
I thought it was woeful.
I mean, it's like, let Allaire throw the ball.
Yeah.
And again, Coach Franklin, big game at Penn State.
Yeah, it was.
Whiteout happening.
Yeah, 111,000.
Dude, let it rip.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Hey, the SAFE Act proposed in Congress would allow college conferences to pool and sell TV rights collectively.
Interesting.
So that could be a huge shift, a potential shift in college sports revenue. As far as all the major 4 conferences pretty much just pulling all of their resources together and getting that money out. So they're taking a good hard look at that right now, that could really change as far as the landscape is concerned about.
Don't you think, though, that the SEC would really complain about that because they believe they're holier than thou and that they negotiate only for themselves?
Well, if you start to pull all the money together, Jimmy, they'll be exponentially more so than they ever thought.
I agree with that, yes, but I just know how the SEC operates.
You think the SEC is going to look a gift horse in the mouth?
Look,
we can make $30 million more?
Yeah,
yes, they will. I think that they would.
You think that they would acquiesce?
I think they would acquiesce. I most definitely do. I think that those are some of the things that common sense seems to come about in reference to some of these, bringing these conferences together and bringing all that money together. Look at all the TV revenues. We're talking billions of dollars here, Jimmy B, to be divided amongst those 4 conferences, or I should say, the 4 power conferences, plus all the FCS schools on top of it. We hit this real quick yesterday in reference to the rankings. Ohio State is the same. Speaking of the aforementioned Oregon, they moved up 4 spots to number 2. Miami with a bye.
Yeah.
Again, moves down to number 3.
That's amazing.
It really is. I don't understand
I
that.
don't either.
Ole Miss, I think this is justified. They moved up to number 4. They moved up 9 spots. Oklahoma, they moved up to 2 spots, even though their quarterback's out there, number 5.
Yeah.
Number 6, Texas A&M has moved up 3, and they are climbing.
They should. They're good.
They are really, their quarterback and their defense have really shown brightly. Penn State, even though they lost, they're number 7. They moved down 4. Indiana pretty much has shellacked teams the last couple of weeks, even though they had the run out of that run out of the 2-point, what do you call it?
The safety.
The safety.
Yeah.
Okay, he ran like 30-some yards.
He did. He wanted to run the clock out.
I get it, but I mean, they're going, wait, if somebody would have caught him from behind, stripped it, knocked it out of his hand.
Oh, I know.
Now, I've seen that in pro football a couple times. That's maybe the first time I've seen it in college in a long, long time. Now, as he was running out, the clock went to 0.
Yes, it did.
Okay, so you got the 2-point. You get the 2-point
safety,
and you move on from there.
And Roc is still crying the blues because it cost a lot of people a lot of money
on bad beats. That was the deal. It was like, dude, do you know that you're costing us a lot of money? Who would have thought it? Texas has moved up 1. They're now at number 9. I am just not impressed with Texas. I'm sorry.
Either. I'm not either.
This offense, this defense, Arch Manning is okay.
Yeah.
He's serviceable quarterback. Yeah. But I'm not seeing this glorified Heisman Trophy candidate whatsoever.
I'm telling you right now, Manuch, I think he needs another year. I know it's early, and he should get better as the season goes on. But watching what I've seen so far, he needs another year.
Yeah, I would agree. He's not ready to come out in the National Football League. A team that has really made their move after their first loss, the game, Alabama, they moved to number 10. They moved up 7 spots.
Yeah.
And I really felt that they handled Georgia pretty good. They really did. I think Ty Simmons, the quarterback. Simpson or Simmons?
Simpson.
Yeah, he really played well. I was impressed with that young man. He's really grown over the first 4 weeks of the season. Texas Tech, 4-0. Moved up 1 spot to number 11, followed by Georgia. They moved down 7 to 12. 13, LSU moved down 9 spots. Yeah. LSU doesn't look right to me either.
Why are they struggling offensively when you got a stud quarterback in Nussmeier?
Well, and he hasn't played that well either.
Well, that's
Jimmy.
fair.
I think he hasn't played well.
Yeah.
They dropped 9 spots to 13, followed by Iowa State, who stays the same. Tennessee, Iowa State 14, Tennessee 15. Then Vanderbilt moves up 2. Georgia Tech down 1 to 17, followed by Florida State. They dropped 10 spots.
Incredible. After they lost in double overtime.
That's just one of those you just can't lose.
Yeah.
And then followed by Missouri, and then Michigan, and then Arizona State did jump back into the top 25. They're at 25. So rounding off the last 5, Michigan, Notre Dame, Illinois, BYU, Virginia, and Arizona State rounds out the top 25.
One of the things that I find really interesting about this year, and when you look at the top 25, don't you just remember that after ASU, they were number 11, got beat in a very close ball game at Mississippi State, and dropped all the way out. Manuch. Now they're just starting to scratch the surface and have climbed back into the last spot. I don't know who's voting. I don't know if they have new voters, or is it people that only think that there are 2 conferences, the Big Ten and the SEC.
Well, they've had to come back. They came back almost with Mississippi State.
Yeah.
They manhandled Texas State. And then Baylor, they had to come back and beat Baylor.
Right.
And they had to come back and beat TCU. Now, Baylor and TCU are very good teams.
Yes, they are.
So I agree with you, Jimmy. I don't know why they haven't given ASU more credit. But with the bye week, the litmus test, they'll watch the Utah game, Texas Tech, highly ranked team, and Iowa State. So you got Utah, Tech, and Iowa State. Don't forget about Houston either.
Right.
So the next 5 games, including Colorado, if they can win those, they'll exponentially start to move up in the top 25. But right now, that's the least of ASU's concerns. It's just focus, win the conference, and everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah, I'm with you on that 100%. Hour number 3 is on the way. It will feature Manuch's clipboard. He's already doing jumping jacks and sit-ups to get ready for this one. The good, the bad, the ugly as well from the NFL. Once again, Arizona Republic columnist and beat writer Bob McManaman coming up at 3:30, everybody. We are here until 4. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Our office computers were from like 2012.
What? They had computers then?
Yeah, I don't know much about new tech.
Apparently.
So I went to Staples and saved big on an AI-powered HP laptop and HP OfficeJet Pro printer, which also came with 3 months of free instant ink.
And we're back in this century. During Staples HP Tech Event, save up to 35% on HP printers and up to 40% on AI-powered HP PCs.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. Until 11/1, select models only.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Lowe's knows how to get you ready for holiday hosting with up to 35% off select home decor. And get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, members get free delivery, haul away, basic installation, parts, and a 2-year Lowe's protection plan when you spend $2,500 or more on select LG major appliances. Valid through 10/1. Member offer excludes Massachusetts, Maryland, Wisconsin, New Jersey, and Florida. Installed by independent contractors. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you tried online gaming. Who knew 12-year-old boys could be so mean? And where did they learn to swear like that? 2 hours of losing to these underage trash talkers, and you're starting to question if maybe you really should stick to pickleball and other boomer stuff. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football. Pressure coming. Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at arizonasports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a record need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Final hour, everybody. We go until 4 o'clock this afternoon. We're presented in this segment by Biggs American Bar and Grill. We are live there every Monday at Biggs in Peoria, right in P83 at 83rd Avenue and Bell. We do the show from 1 to 4, and then we stick around for Monday Night Football, and we give you a chance to win $10,000 in the Roll for Dough. So we had a great crowd last night. It was awesome. And we expect to do the same next Monday. It's the Chiefs and the Jags once again. we will see you at Biggs American Bar and Grill. Manuch, let's do a quick update here on Major League Baseball because the Major League Baseball playoffs are underway. 2 games have already gone final. Detroit won the first game against the Cleveland Indians 2-1, and the Cubs beat the Padres in game number 1 3-1. Back-to-back home runs for the Cubs to give them the lead.
I think I'm going to acquiesce to our resident Chicago Cub fan, Chicago Bear fan. Life is good for Cubs and Bears fans. I mean, how about the Bears? That being Matt Lazarus, our fine producer / technical director / setup guy / he does it all. He and Connor work in unison very, very well. All right, big fella, how'd your Cubbies pulling out this afternoon?
You know, I think a lot of that comes down to how Craig Counsell managed the bullpen. One of the biggest reasons he got the largest contract in managerial history when we hired him is because he knows how to operate the bullpen. And for so long, people have questioned that on Twitter, all over in the Cubs universe. And today was perfection. People questioned him taking out Matthew Boyd. It was the perfect time so that he didn't have to face the Padres a third time around. He went to our closer, Palencia, in the 5th inning, which I even questioned. I was like, whoa. But then he came out for the 6th, pitched beautiful. Our bullpen went all of the 5th, 6th, 7th. They shut the door down. Not one hit from the bullpen. It was perfect execution. The sole reason we won today was our bullpen in the way they executed.
By the way, what's Craig Counsell making per year?
He gets $70 million over 5, so he's making with bonuses almost $15 a year.
Damn, Manuch, Manuch, you gotta
sit on the bench.
Get into pro football, Manuch. You could be an assistant coach making $5 million a year easy.
I think there's guys making more than that now too.
Are there? Wow, I think it's that Notre Dame education on top of it. I mean, I'm sure he's using that money wisely. You bring up something to that point, taking out Boyd. What a calculated right guess. You're right by Counsell, as you mentioned. 5 innings, was it 4 innings? Yeah, 4 innings. I'm sorry, of no hit ball.
Yeah,
by that bullpen. Have they been that stout the entire year like that?
It's been a work in progress. I mean, they got really hot at the beginning of the year when we were winning a lot of ball games, and then they got really cold after the deadline. But you know, Craig Counsell has just been working the pieces in place all year long, and today he just executed them at the perfect time, and everyone just pitched lights out. It was beautiful.
I'm surprised you didn't say Suzuki back-to-back home runs. He and Kelly go back-to-back. Yep. I mean, that kind of set the tone, and then you get an extra insurance run. You think this team can get beyond the Padres? I mean, you think they can do that?
You know, this morning I was feeling more nervous than I have been for a baseball game since high school, because that was the last time the Cubs played a playoff game in front of fans. And I truly, for some reason, was feeling pessimistic. I didn't know why. But we walked in there. We came back from down 1-0. Our offense finally woke up. The pitching looks good, which is going to carry momentum. I think if we beat this Padres team, I mean, the Brewers always suck in October. Come on, they're the Brewers. We're going to pound them.
The Brewers always suck. Spoken like a true Cubs fan.
Hey, remember now,
the World Series. This National League is really good. So if we can work our way through the National League, you never know.
All right, that's enough, Homer boy.
I love it.
Get off the radio.
Hey, give them some credit. At least it took them 9,000 years before they won a World Series.
Oh, I know it did.
Of that. And then Detroit game, Jimmy. That Detroit wins that 2-1 over Cleveland. I mean, Scooble, 7 2/3.
Yeah.
Only 3 hits, 14 Ks.
Yes.
14 Ks.
That boy's good.
107 pitches.
Yeah.
In 7 2/3.
That boy's really good.
I mean, he is something. A gaff by the Guardians. It was at the top of the 9th. When you watched, who was coming home on that last? Who was at third base? That contact, if the hitter was, got thrown out with only 1 out. Got thrown out versus making sure it went through. Now, if you're going to go on contact, you run it out
all the way.
That was Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, he stopped.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't. So the pitcher snags it, and he just stopped versus just take off. They get you. They get you.
They get him in a rundown. He's out.
But those are those mental gaffes you got to be careful of because they're magnified.
Yes.
In these kind of playoff games. But again, the Tigers hold on. The woeful Tigers, the last month of Major League Baseball, to beat the Guardians 2-1.
Coming up next in the AL, it is Boston and New York, the Yankees and the Red Sox. Manuch, let's quickly go to football. There was breaking news today by the Arizona Cardinals. Had nothing really to do with the team, but everything to do with a new training facility.
Yeah, they announced a new training facility that's going to be broken ground here. The plans are basically After looking at dozens of sites, one clearly emerged as the optimal location. Now, it's called Paradise Ridge, located in North Phoenix. Interesting. Listen to where this location is, if this rings a bell, everybody. It's west of Scottsdale Road and north of the Loop 101.
Oh, is that where the Coyotes were interested in?
I think it's close to that, or right in that neighborhood. Now, this past summer, the Cardinals, with the assistance of a real estate development company called Mortensen, they purchased 217-acre property at the auction from the Arizona State Land Department for $136 million. Now, there's a lot of state land that's owned up in that North Scottsdale area, north of the 101, and even and then west of Scottsdale Road, even west of the 51 going up that way. And the Arizona State Land Auction, they only have auctions periodically,
right?
Because they want to preserve the integrity. So where the Mayo Clinic is there, and a lot of that area it's been developed, that was state land at one time. So they do these auctions. So this new training facility and business operations will anchor the mixed-use development site, occupying 30 acres. So the Cardinals will have 30 acres and over 250,000 square feet. The footprint of the team's current facility is only 14 acres and 156,000 square feet. So looks like they're going to develop this much like, I think, what they did in Frisco, Texas with the Dallas Cowboys. Hotel, retail, practice facility. That facility they have there holds 14,000 people. So in Frisco, they also have like high school games in there, junior college games. They've got a lot going on.
Yep.
So they're looking to try to open up this facility in 2028. It'll feature 3 natural grass outdoor practice fields and a field house with a full-size turf field indoors. Additional elements of the new world-class training facility will include a greatly expanded and modern locker room, state-of-the-art team spaces for athletic training, sports medicine and strength and conditioning in addition to an updated dining area, meeting rooms, a player lounge, and more.
No more stale sandwiches?
I guess not. No more bologna and cheese sandwiches going on from there. So this is a long LONNG overdue that the Arizona Cardinals have done this. They've been at the when they first got here in 1988, they were at East High School. And we used East High School, and I was with the Arizona Wranglers going back to 1983. They shut down East High School. It was a training facility for us, the Arizona Outlaws, and I believe the first couple of years for the Phoenix Cardinals before they moved to Hardy and Warner for the current facility. They've been there, I think, since 1990, if I'm not mistaken.
89, I think.
89.
Yeah,
they've been
Tempe.
there.
Yep.
So long overdue. So, if you're a retail person, you should be into a situation where you'd be a mixed-use situation, long overdue. Ingress and egress is very good.
What is that again?
Ingress and egress. Oh, in and out of the facility.
I thought those were birds.
No, they're not.
Egress?
That's a commercial real estate term, Jimmy. I can teach you all about that. Anyways, the Cardinals will have this new facility hopefully done by 2028.
There you go. That is the latest from the Cardinals. Look, I think a lot of this had to do with the last 2 years of being rated as one of the worst training facilities in all of the NFL. That was by the players. Manuch, he had to do something.
Yes, he did. And like I said, long overdue. I don't know what they'll do with the old facility. They may, who knows, they might sell it.
Right.
Because it sounds like operations, practice facility, everything's going to move out there to North Scottsdale.
Sure.
And how about those players out there that are like, hey, we're settling into Ahwatukee and Mountain Park Ranch and South Tempe, that if they're still around with the team, they're making the hike up north to North Scottsdale, up in that area. So this is close, if not part of that facility or that land that was going to be part of what the Coyotes were looking to go before that whole thing blew up.
All right, everybody, a quick timeout. When we come back, it is the world-famous Manuch's Clipboard Report. And look, I know that you're probably sitting down, but we finally, after 322 years, we finally have a sponsor for Manuch's Clipboard Report. It is the Hub Bar and Grill in Ahwatukee. By the way, we will be there not tomorrow, but the following Wednesday, hanging out at the Hub in Ahwatukee. Manuch's Clipboard, the good, the bad, the honorable mention, who sucks and who doesn't. I think you should just say who's really good and who sucks. That just kind of changes the whole dynamic. It's coming up. Manuch's Clipboard. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620.
It's back. Sign up now for the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B annual Pro Football Pick'em contest, powered by all 5 Twin Peaks locations. Pick the winners each week, score great prizes all season long, and earn bragging rights until next year. And don't forget, the guys are live every Thursday from 1 to 4 to kick off your football weekend at one of the 5 Valley Twin Peaks lodges. It's free to play and easy to join. Just head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com. Powered by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views, and your home for pro football.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner & Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do, text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
First episode psychosis is no joke, and neither is getting help as soon as symptoms show up. Early treatment gives you a better chance at feeling like yourself again. If you are showing signs like having hallucinations or trouble thinking clearly, don't wait. Counseling, medication, and support from loved ones can slow down the effects of psychosis before it's too late. Speak with your doctor today and visit learnmorefep.org. Sponsored by MatForce, working to build healthier communities.
Time for Manuch to do what he does best. Hold the clipboard.
As Manucci takes, slides, hit, keeps the ball 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 50, and he's hauled in from behind at the 10-yard line. Manucci was wondering would he run out of gas or run out of field, and he did a little of both.
Manuch dives into last weekend's quarterback play across the NFL. It's Manuch's Clipboard Report, exclusively on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Going until 4 o'clock. What are you tapping at me
I was
for?
going to say, turn your mic on over there.
It is on.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Red
just making
light's
sure.
on. Yeah, if the red light's on. Don't interrupt me. I was starting to give you a big introduction, like always.
Well, Connor was late on pushing the button. Was that on you, Connor, on that one? Otherwise, I'll take it back from Jimmy.
I'm not sure if that was on me.
Yes, it was. That's okay. We'll let it go. Both of you guys got 50 push-ups for crying out loud.
Oh, man. That's a
Me
piece
and
of
Jimmy
cake.
were talking before the show. We're like, man, do we really got to do this clipboard report again?
I'm with you. I'm with you. All
Sit
right,
back, get your culture.
Oh, boy. All right, here we go. Manuch's Clipboard Report. That's all the intro you get.
Thank you, Jimmy B. I appreciate that. Give more time for me. I appreciate that. This is a chance where I take a look at the good, the honorable mention, and the bad. And the good is finally the Kansas City Chiefs getting off the schneid.
And as in zone, caught, touchdown, Hollywood Brown, number 4 for Mahomes. On a
fourth down play, no less.
Thank you to CBS Sports as the Kansas City Chiefs hammer the Ravens 37-20, and they get this game. You keep that music going underneath me there, Connor. You got to keep that flow going, man. That's why I keep that get that little side going. As he was 25 for 37, 270 yards. Thank you, sir. 4 touchdown passes, 4 different receivers on the touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, and thing you always hear me talk about, Jimmy B, 7.3 yards on average. Woo! By him getting the ball down the field. Also, 9 different receivers. And it tends to help when you have a Chiefs receiving core in the flow. Worthy, Juju, Kelsey, all the above, making things happen. And the thing you saw about this offense get on track again, this looked like the offense of about, 2 years ago.
Yes.
Last couple of years, they've looked a little stale.
Yes.
And I think now that everybody's healthy, I think you look at Patrick Mahomes feeling confident. Doesn't have to run as much as he did these first few games of the year. So he sat back. And the other thing I noticed is coming off his receivers like before. First guy not there, second guy, third guy. And it helps to have that pass protection. But the one thing that a lot of folks look at, they say, Manuch, when you do the clipboard report, guys throw 4 or 5 touchdown passes. What do you look for? I said, I look for the distribution of the passing game. As I mentioned, 4 different receivers on the 4 touchdown passes that he had. And the other thing, too, is this Ravens defense is woeful. And what Andy Reid does such a good job, he and Patrick Mahomes do working together as they find the weaknesses and the mismatches that we saw in this Ravens game. Home game, had to get off the schneid. It felt really good in reference to this team getting to the next level. Now, hopefully, for those Chiefs fans, they can maintain what they saw this past weekend. My honorable mention, let's go to the Ramsville.
Game-winning drives in his career. Trying to start one here, and he's got Atwell all alone. 2-2 Atwell, and it's 2-2 goodbye.
Thank you to Fox. I don't think there's anything wrong with Matthew Stafford at all. Do you think?
I don't think so. I don't think that back issue is long gone.
A nice victory over the Colts. A very good win. 27-20 win over the Colts. 29 for 41. 375 yards. Averaging close to 10 yards on average per pass completion. 3 touchdown passes. 0 interceptions. 9 different receivers. And as I mentioned, like Patrick Mahomes, he threw touchdown passes to 3 different receivers. Now, we saw this offense start to come alive last year at the end. They could have very easily beaten the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoff game to go to the Super Bowl, and they missed it by an errant pass. Don't know where that throw was in that championship game last year. But Matthew Stafford, this receiving core, are hitting on all cylinders right now. And I think for Sean McVay as the head coach, his thoughts were, okay, if we can just keep him upright, not have any kind of back issues. I don't see any back issues whatsoever. Matter of fact, when I watched highlights of this game and dove into this, he's throwing the football right now as well as I've ever seen him throw.
He's got a great
And he's pushing, 37 years old?
Yeah.
37, 38 years old.
He is.
And when I watch Matthew Stafford in this offense, the one thing I noticed, though, they're getting the ball out quicker routes. They are getting the ball down the field.
Okay.
Their passing game's still a little horizontal for me. But I think as you get these kind of wins versus a very good team in the Indianapolis Colts, it's a big win for them moving forward. So they'll have the Thursday game against the San Francisco 49ers this Thursday. We'll be at Twin Peaks in Deer Valley for that one to see how they bounce back, how his back responds on a short week. So Matthew Stafford is my honorable mention. My bad? Well, let's go to Cleveland.
Play clock winding down. We're down at 8. Flacco under pressure, and it is picked off along the near sideline by Kirby Joseph.
As I should say, go to Detroit. Again, special thanks to the NFL as far as that's concerned. Joe Flacco, he had one of those days, Jimmy B, that he might have had maybe early in his career.
That you'd like to forget?
Yeah, you would. They lose 34-10 to the Detroit Lions. He's 16 for 34, not even 50%. And for Joe Flacco, he's a pretty accurate guy. It just goes to show you that the pressure that they had on him, that interception there, he had 2 interceptions. He had 3 sacks, 3 ill-timed sacks that could have kept some drives going on some third down conversions. As far as throwing the ball down the field, negative. Didn't throw the ball down the field. Only averaged 5 yards per completion. Again, not having the confidence in throwing the football down the field, which he's always had a big arm. Now, he still has a big arm. He still throws the football pretty well at, 41, 42 years old.
Yeah.
I lose track of these guys after they get plus 40. But he only threw to 7 receivers. Now, you look at Matthew Stafford, he threw to 9 different receivers, as did Patrick Mahomes. He threw to 9 different receivers. When your offense is struggling or your passing game is struggling, the limited amount of your receivers not getting into the routes or not making the correct reads, even for a wily veteran like Joe Flacco, to only throw to 7 different receivers, and they targeted 3 others, but to no avail in that game.
There are reports now out of Cleveland indicating that there may be a change at quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Their number 3 draft choice, that QB that you loved coming out of the Ducks, could get the start. Are you excited about seeing him play in Dillon, or are you maybe stay with Flacco?
Well, it's interesting. I'm going to pull up their schedule because I think when you talk about Dillon coming into the situation,
I think they're on the road. I think they play Minnesota in.
Let me take a look at their schedule, because if they're on the road, and depending who they're playing against, as I slowly pull it up here.
That's all right. Take your time.
I think that a couple of things come into play. How bad was Flacco before moving on? So you got Minnesota at home.
Yeah.
And Carson Wentz is throwing the football very well, even though they lost this last game.
Yeah.
And then you're at Pittsburgh, Miami, New England. Now, if you're going to make a move and play Dillon this game, it's a home game. I believe that game is that the Sunday night game?
Okay.
I believe. No, I'm sorry. That's the early game. That's over in Europe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're in Europe.
You know what? I don't know. I think I'd give it one more game, maybe a couple more. Yeah, I would. I think that when you look at this team overall and you see, what kind of help does he have? So if Dillon Gabriel starts this week, as a matter of fact, funny you bring that up.
Okay.
They've got him listed number 1 on the depth chart.
Do they? Now that you just looked at it.
Yeah, Dillon Gabriel.
Okay.
Flacco back him up. Shedeur Sanders will be the third string guy. Boy, going over to Europe and starting that early game.
No pressure. There's no pressure going over to Europe, Manuch. You just have to go out and play. It's not like you're on the road at a home stadium in the NFL. Well, you're not. You're in Europe.
At 1-3, coaches are desperate. Here's your 3rd round pick.
Yep. Here's
an opportunity. I thought he had a decent preseason. He threw the ball very well.
Dillon Gabriel.
And I think now if you're going to make that move, good luck. But, that Minnesota Vikings, I'm sure, will be favored in this. So you've got nothing to lose because you got the Steelers at Pittsburgh next week.
There you go.
So you allow him to get his feet wet and pretty much, play out the rest of the season. I don't know. That's just really tough in reference to which way they go.
That's interesting that you just pulled it up and they had Gabriel listed as the starter.
Dillon Gabriel as the starter. Wow. For now.
Okay.
And Joe Flacco's schedule as a backup. But there you go. There's Manuch's clipboard for
Always
you.
highly entertaining, and information is off the charts. You only get it from the one, the only, my esteemed colleague, the quarterback guru, and the guy who I always ask questions when it comes to quarterbacking, Dan Manucci. Coming up, everybody, it is Republic columnist Bob McManaman. He's going to give his thoughts on the Cardinals contest, and we're going to check out with Bob as well after Manuch indicated that they should beat the Tennessee Titans 42-3. We'll see if that holds up with Bobby Mack. But first, we've got an ESPN 620 update. Here's Connor.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 update. I'm Connor Collins. The Arizona Cardinals have announced plans for a brand new $100 million practice facility to be moved up towards North Metro Phoenix. It's going to be off of the 101 loop going off of Scottsdale Road, and that's set to open in 2027. You might remember this as the land the Coyotes were thinking about taking over when they were still in Arizona. In baseball, Torey Lovullo will return for the 2026 season despite a disappointing finish to the year. And in the hardwood, Phoenix Mercury are headed back to the WNBA Finals after stunning the top-seed Minnesota Lynx, rallying late in Game 4 to clinch the semifinal series. Join us for our third watch party Saturday, October 11th at Backyard's Desert Ridge as the Sun Devils head to Utah. Game time on Fox is at 7:15. Incredible Dos Equis drink specials, plus at halftime, 25 people will roll the jumbo dice for their chance to win $10,000. Dos Equis Backyard, Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B's official home for all the Sun Devil road games.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with the perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
Attention golf lovers and putting enthusiasts. Are you ready to elevate your game? At Putting World, we've got cutting-edge technology that'll have you sinking putts like a pro. With high-tech simulators and expert coaches, you'll be on your way to mastering that tricky 6-footer in no time. Check us out at puttingworld.com. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or a newbie who thinks a hole-in-one is just a fancy donut, there's a place for you at Putting World. Eat it, drink it, sink it. Putting World. Mondays belong to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live from Biggs America Bar and Grill in Peoria. The guys broadcast every Monday from 1 till 4, right in P83, across from the Peoria Sports Complex at 83rd Avenue in Bell. Then stick around as they host that night's football game. Food, drinks, prizes, and a shot at cash. That's right. Each week, 20 fans get a chance to roll the dough for $10,000. $10,000 Mondays. Biggs Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Be there.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section, or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
There's never been a better time to experience Sun Devil football. Pressure coming, Levitt throwing for the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown by Jordan Tyson. The Levitt to Tyson connection clicks again. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the action, tradition, and unmatched atmosphere at Mountain America Stadium this season. Get your Sun Devil football tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
At National Geographic Society, we believe in the power of wonder. It drives us to explore, pushes us to see the world differently, moves us to action. And we believe that today, wonder is more essential than ever. Wow. That's why we're supporting a new generation of explorers to ask big questions, make breakthroughs, and bring the future closer. Wonder awaits. Will you join us? Visit natgeo.org/wonder.
Let's go inside the Cards locker room and down to the field with Bob McManaman. Bob's been covering Arizona sports for the Arizona Republic and azcentral.com since 1981. Now, Arizona Republic columnist Bobby Mack on ESPN 620.
Yeah, I mean, the first that pad level, pointing it the right way. You got, some technique things that come up, some schematic things that come up, off here or there a little bit, playing penalty free, so we just got to uptick everything that we're doing to get the run game going.
Jonathan Gann, head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, following the victory the other night. That brings us then to Bob McManaman, columnist, Arizona Republic.
The loss the other night.
Yeah, the loss. Yeah, I said the game.
You said the victory.
No, I said the game.
You said the victory.
No, I said the. Did
All
I?
right, we'll get the tape then. You said the victory.
Yeah, I said the
loss
game
the other night.
Bobby, if you were listening, did I say the game the other night or did I say the victory?
Well, I wasn't listening to either of you.
I don't blame you one bit.
We'll roll the tape back.
Yeah,
They lost
you
the
got
night,
that
Jimmy.
right. I said the game. Yes, the loss. So at any rate, you can follow on X at AZ Bobby Mack. AZ Bobby Mack. Welcome, my friend. How are you?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Well, I didn't realize if I did say victory. I don't think I did. I said the game.
We'll
but
play the tape back
we'll,
there,
we'll
Jimmy
play
B.
the tape back later and find out.
Yeah.
I'm curious to get your thoughts on what you saw. Are they progressing, or are they just stuck at a certain level now offensively, and that's it?
Tough. You said regressing?
No.
Did they ever progress?
Did they?
No, they didn't. They haven't. So it's
that's the question.
Regressing or staying the same? That's pretty much both, really. I wrote Monday that changes needed to happen, and they said changes were coming, but and they're not going to tell you what it is, and they didn't try to tell us it was anything more than tweaks to some maybe blocking principles, which is the clip you kind of played from Gannon. I was there for the coordinators today, and Drew Petzing wasn't offering much in the way of changes, but hoping, we can fix this, and just like Gannon did Friday and Monday as well. I'm under the belief that I'll see it when we all see it, and then we'll know. Because I think there will be changes, and I think there will be significant. And, I don't know what's going on with Trey Benson. He missed practice. People are assuming it's some sort of injury. Maybe he just got banged up and needed a day off. But if it is an injury, we'll find out Wednesday. They activated Michael Carter, and you're going to see a lot more of Emari DeMercado. I think you're going to see a three-headed monster running back if Benson's able to go, and I hope he is, for their sake. And because I like Benson. I think he's going to be a pretty dang good back in this league. But there better be some changes, because what's they're putting out there isn't working.
Did they was DeMercado was in there those last two drives? Benson wasn't in there. At least I didn't recollect. Was he hurt?
The last series, yeah, he wasn't in.
Okay. Well, is it just because had DeMercado is more of a better receiver than he is?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know, because I know that's got to be tough for a guy to start like Benson, go the whole game. And I'm correct. I would
only
say,
had 8 carries, Manuch.
Yeah, but I'm saying I wonder if he can handle the load. Is what I'm getting to. Will we able to handle the load like James Conner handled the load? Is he that kind of a back?
Yeah, he is, and Connor said he is, and they both said he is, and everyone on the Cardinals' offensive unit, coaches and players, believe it. I believe it. Now, was something limiting him besides a pretty damn good Seattle defensive front?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I just know that there's got to be more than 60-40 in the pass run split. It's got to be better than that. It's got to be more even balanced. Running out of 11 personnel was a choice they made. By far the most they've used it in the last couple of years. It was, they say, Petzing said, by design. But it's going to change every week. They got to change a lot of stuff every week then, because what's going isn't working.
48 yards from the running backs, and then you had Kyler with his 41, so 89 total. Only 40
and one big run,
29
yards.
So again, all that being said, I think that when you looked at this game, and as frustrating as that first half was with the fans, booing up the storm. And Jimmy and I talked about this and Roc a little bit in reference to maybe they can go a little bit more hurry up more often. Can't do that an entire game, but when you're
they did it in the third quarter. And I think that's what helped them perpetuate their offense get into a bit of rhythm and going into the fourth, because that's the first time they used it. It was towards the end of the third. I remember writing it down and saying, finally, and I think it did propel them. So I agree with you. That's a great way to go, especially against an 0-4 Titans team coming into town.
Sure.
Who's beat up, who's pissed off. I'm not going to say must win, guys, but holy cow.
But it's a must win.
By the way, where was Marv Jr. For the talk to the press? He skedaddled after he pulled a Larry Fitzgerald and then leave?
He did, yeah. I know that ticked off a few people.
It ticked me off, too.
Did it? Yeah. Well, it was a long wait for Gannon to come out, and you can't go in until he comes out and talks to us. So it could have been by design, which I hope it wasn't. It could have been just the way things unfolded. I don't know. Marv shouldn't hang his head, though. He came back strong in the second half.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a lot of the fans hear that, and you don't really know the situation, but they'd love to hear what he had to say about, finally getting off the schneid, the touchdown catch, and the catches that he had, and all those kind of things. People want to. I don't think some of these guys realize people want to hear how you're feeling, how you're doing, especially if you have success, whether you win or lose. They still want to hear how you're doing.
Well, I want to hear when you screwed up too.
Sure,
there's accountability in this professional game we call sports. I used to hate it when I covered the Coyotes. Remember them? Remember those guys?
Yeah, I remember them.
When they were playing at America West, and they had all the talent in the world, and they'd get shut out by some crappy team, and you'd walk in, and I remember shouting out, "Hey, where are you guys? Where, don't send out Shane Doan every day. You crap the bed. Send out your captain, Kachuk. Send out Roenick. Send out your best defensive. Send out Hobby Bullen." And there were days when they just didn't come out at all. I mean, they hid. That is, that isn't as much prevalent today in sports professional level as it used to be, which I always hated. And and the guys heard me because I could see him back there, in the shower room or whatever, dressed, and they wouldn't come out. And I called them out. Yeah. And I even yelled at the owner's son, say, "Hey, get your guys out here to answer for themselves." But after a win or a loss, you need to be accountable. It's not only the right thing to do, it's a rule by nature. They have to make players available. But look, I'm not getting hung up on Marvin. I went on a tangent. I didn't mean to, guys. Sorry.
No, it was good.
It's Tuesday.
We liked
I still don't have AC in the car. I'm a little messed up.
Well, I mean, I think as an alumnus of the National Football League, we had to stand up and face the music. There was an unwritten rule. You face the press, good, bad, or indifferent. And when I hear that he wasn't available for the press, I want to know why. From the Arizona Cardinals, why was it? Because people want to hear this kid, good, bad, or indifferent.
Well, when Larry Fitzgerald was a youngster, his first few years with the Cardinals, he hated talking to us, even during the week. But he was a special player, first round pick, and he got fined, and we made sure he got fined because we continually complained to the NFL, and he hated us for it. But it had to be done, and then everyone fell in love with the guy.
Yeah,
everyone, the fans love him, but he was difficult, and it wasn't because he was shy. He just didn't think he needed to, and Marvin needs to. And I think he understands that. I don't know if there was extenuating circumstances. I don't really care, like I said, because it didn't bust my buttons like it did other people.
Right.
But if I was going in there with full intent on writing a column about Marvin Harrison's first half versus his second half and his first 4 games, I would have been just as ticked as some of the guys I work with.
I don't blame you one bit on that. Before we run out of time, take me then to the Tennessee Titans. You referenced it, as I mentioned on the beginning of our segment. Manuch has predicted 41-3.
No, 92-5.
Oh, okay,
they
fair enough. Even worse. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Cardinals not. Probably mad. Shame on you.
So it's a slump buster, Bobby. That's what it is. And they need to do everything right against this team.
Yeah. And look, I hate saying don't overlook these guys, but they're a hungry team, like I said, and I love what Cam Ward said to the media about his play and his team's play. That guy's a real leader. Talking to the Cardinals D coordinator, Nick Rallis, today, he pointed that out and made sure, like, this guy's coming to play ball, and he's pissed, and he's going to be hungry, and they're going to come after it, and he's a leader. So I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think it is, but I think they won by 10 or 13 maybe.
Oh, Bob, if they don't blow the doors off the JV team in the National Football League, it could be a long-ass season for the Cardinals.
They didn't do it against the Saints. They didn't do it against the Panthers.
You're right.
And those are the next two JV teams after the Titans.
I hope to God that they blow the doors. Until you're like Jimmy says, Slump Buster, let's get well, let's get creative.
Okay.
And I told Jimmy.
Make sure you tell everybody about what Slump Buster is.
No, I can't do that on the show. No.
Family show.
Yeah.
Bobby, family show.
Read it in my book coming up.
You're the best, pal. Always enjoy it. Thank you, Bobby. You have a great day, man. There you go. Bob McManaman, columnist for the Arizona Republic. You can always find him on X at AZ Bobby Mack. Again, that's AZ Bobby Mack. All right, so when we began the segment, Manuch questioned me. So I'm going to find out right now, because Connor has the beginning of the segment available, if I said game or, as Manuch claims, I said victory. So here it is. Jonathan Gannon, head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, following the victory the other night. I did say, did you doctor that?
No, Jimmy, you said victory. I said lost.
I can't
Jimmy.
believe.
Yes, Jimmy, you said lost.
Oh, I suck.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Man. I need a slump buster. Manuch, do the rest of the show.
Yeah,
I'm going to find one.
50 push-ups, 50 setups. That's okay,
good
Jimmy.
God. I am sick. I am a sick dog. Oh, I have lost it. All right. Well, enough of that. All right, you got me. This segment presented today by the G2G protein bar. I could use one right now, and you can find them in the refrigerated section at Costco and online at g2gbar.com. Again, that is g2gbar.com. Grab and go goodness since 2010, and they are on sale right now. Refrigerated section in Costco. When we come back, Lerner and Rowe, one call, that's all. We'll check in on the games tonight as what's on tap, and our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day. Roc and Manuch, no more Jimmy B. I suck pond water. ESPN 620.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner and Rowe today, and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
It's time to make plans to join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B for another Dos Equis Sun Devils watch party. ASU hits the road to face Utah Saturday, October 11th at Backyard Gilbert. This is your ultimate tailgate. Elevated bar favorites in the game on massive LED walls. And at halftime, 25 fans get a shot to roll for dough for $10,000. See you there, Sun Devil fans. All season long at Backyard Desert Ridge and Backyard Gilbert.
Looking for the center of activity? Welcome to the Hub Grill and Bar in Ahwatukee, where the community comes together for food, fun, and the big game. With wall-to-wall big screens, mouth-watering burgers, wings, and an incredible lineup of local and craft beers, the Hub is where every guest feels like a VIP. Find us at Ray Road and 50th Street in Ahwatukee. Open daily for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch. The Hub Ahwatukee, your neighborhood center of activity.
Everyone deserves access to quality health. But for half the world's population, essential health services are out of reach. At AmeriCares, we know access to quality health saves lives. We care. It's our call to action. It's in our name. AmeriCares. AmeriCares about our communities, our neighbors, our families. AmeriCares about good health for a better world. Join us. Learn how at americares.org/goodhealth.
Are you looking for career opportunities with great benefits and job growth? How about the chance to make an impact? What we do here at the City of Phoenix matters. 14,000 employees and counting, all dedicated to making a difference in the communities where they live, work, and play. So come join us. Help us do work that makes Phoenix work. You can see all open positions and apply at phoenix.gov/jobs. This message is sponsored by Phoenix.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe voted Arizona's best law firm.
I'm grateful for Mr. Kendrick, Derek, Mike, and his team for believing in me and saying, "Hey, let's keep going. Let's make this happen." And I think we've won a lot of baseball games. We went to a World Series. We won, 89 games last year. We've come close the past couple of years. That's not a consolation, but I think I was at peace with whatever was going to happen. Because I've done my absolute best, and we all know when you do your absolute best and it just doesn't meet the mark, then you have some satisfaction and walk away. You can walk away from that, but I'm not ready to walk away from this. I want to win a world championship here in the Valley. I want to celebrate with the fans.
That's the skipper, Torey Lovello, after the announcement that he is indeed going to be the manager of the Diamondbacks for the upcoming season. That is our Lerner and Rowe one call. That's all. Interact. Need a check? Just make one call. 602-977-1900. Always at lernerandrowe.com. All right. What's on tap this evening? Well, right now on ESPN, it is the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. And then following that as well, it'll be the Reds and the Dodgers. That is Major League Baseball playoffs. And right now, they are in full swing beginning today. Hey, we want to remind everybody you can score tickets to the Cardinals-Rams game January 4th, SoFi Stadium. You're going to get 2 game tickets, hotel right by the airport, by the way, and it's like 2 miles to the stadium, money for airfare or if you want to drive, and the runner-up Twin Peaks tailgate for the big game in February at Twin Peaks. Just scan the QR code, and also you can just text Peaks to 59925. Again, that's Peaks to 59925. The Twin Peaks Gridiron Getaway. We have more information for it at rocandmanuch.com. Manuch, State 48 Roofing. It's your call. Question of the day for a free quote repair or full installation. Just go to state48roofing.com.
And go to Roc and Manuch on X to vote. Should Torey Lovello have kept his job as manager of the D-backs? Very simple, either yes or no. Again, just go to X at Roc and Manuch on Twitter. Which way they leaning there, Connor? All those fans out there.
We had 67% say no, while 33% said yes.
Okay,
Wow.
So you got more leaning that he should have been fired.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was very interesting. I heard a lot of you get mixed opinions one way or the other.
Always.
From Ken Kendrick, it was the way that they finished the season
right
without their stalwarts and the injuries. And I heard that from a lot of the pundits. And there's some baseball people that felt, well, look, probably shouldn't have been fired, but probably put it this way, should have been reassigned. Like Roc mentioned yesterday, had a couple of baseball people say maybe reassign, not fire him.
Right, move him into the front office.
Yeah, move him up to the front office. But I'm going to contend with, when you give away, when you sell the farm and you just got one row of alfalfa left and you can survive on sales, and dang, you have a bumper crop at the very end. I just think it's amazing the way he handled that clubhouse. Now, there's a lot of decisions we didn't really agree with.
Correct, yes, during the games.
In
yes.
Roc, exactly. And then there were some gaffes. I think, running some base running gaffes, some mental errors, Perdomo bunting somebody over when they had the right situation. Does he hit away or bunt away? There was a lot of questionable situations. But, right now, so he's coming back as a lame duck manager.
Right. Final year of his deal.
Final year. But didn't Walter Alston have 23 one-year contracts with the L.A. Dodgers, the Brooklyn/L.A. Dodgers?
He just signed 1-year deals the entire time.
Man, it's 2023, whatever year.
Whatever it was.
So that didn't have long-term contracts.
No.
And I even think in those days, go way back, the baseball players, I would agree, I'll have to check with some guys, then negotiate year by year, depending how well you did, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that with Torey Lovullo, there's a lot of pressure on him. And I think what Ken Kendrick and Mike Hazen are going to have to do is you got to give him some players. I mean, you can't allow him to take a knife to a gunfight, expect him to win, right?
I understand.
So there's got to be some guys from that bullpen. You got to go find another starter because Corbin Burns is going to be out.
Mm-hmm.
You got Jay Mart is out. You got several guys that will be out with the Tommy John, surgeries that they have.
Right.
So I think that if you're going to bring him back, hopefully he'll have enough of a bullpen. Hopefully have enough of a starter to come in here because Burns is out. Zach Gallen, oh, by the way, will probably be gone.
I would
so there's
think
two starters.
Yeah.
Erod finally started to pitch well the last 5 games.
I'm not buying it, Manuch. I'm not sold on him. I'm not.
Just when he threw 4 decent games, he blew up the last game. Zach Gallen's gone.
Yeah.
So Fott and Nelson will be fine. And then, I don't know, just from that standpoint on, when you look at this Diamondback team.
They're going to have to buy some pitching in the offseason. They will have to do that. And whether if it's just 1-year contracts or they look for something a little longer, I would be under the assumption that you're going to get Burns back. So he may return in like August, maybe September, maybe. So I would think that you would try to find guys that you could just sign 1-year deals to if they would go for that.
So this is what it looks like. Let's just assume Zach Gallen's gone.
Okay.
Just say he's gone. He pitched well enough for somebody to get somebody's attention.
Agree with that.
To go ahead and overpay him, correct?
Yes, correct.
Now, if he stays, great. But I think they're going to have to pay $20, $22 to $25
I'm not so
million.
sure it's great.
So, long story short, all you really technically have coming back, let's say if he's gone, Corbin Burns is out for the year. You got Ryan Nelson.
Yep.
You got Erod, Brandon Fott, and you got Mena coming back, who was on the IL for 60 days, Christian Mena. That's it.
Yeah.
Unless you elevate anybody. I can't see anybody elevating.
No.
Coming up.
Got to go shopping.
And the other thing, now I'm trying to determine the story. Remember we said Zach Gallen was supposed to move up and start last week, but they gave him an extra day.
Correct. They said Jody Jackson sent out a tweet that indicated he wasn't feeling
good, bad cold, whatever it was. Yeah. And I don't know if a lot of the people got the story that if he was gassed, not feeling well, so they did the opener or the starter thing.
Yes.
And
the bullpen game.
Beek started.
Yeah.
And then I want to say who came in just basically
Criswell
got
it was over.
It was lit up. So I'm getting conflicting stories. So Jody's report, remember we said, why isn't he being moved up?
Yep.
Jody came out and said, because here's the issue, here's the concerns.
Right.
So they went with the start, and then Zach Gallen started the first game for the against the Padres series.
Correct.
So those kind of little things. And now, would they have won that game? We don't know. They lost 5 in a row. They got blown out the last 2 games.
Yep.
So my contention is, if Torey's coming back, is he truly going to be lame duck? Are you just going to force him to play it out? And if this team starts off 8-22, do you fire him at that time?
Well, that gives him the
out?
option. Yeah, that gives him the option because you're only going to pay him then for the rest of his 1 year.
So if you're going to have a 500 ball club, you have to got to go out and get some pitching.
Yep.
After that, as far as what are you going to do as far as your regular players? Enough of these players played enough that they come back. So Locklear will come back. You got look at some of the other guys that are going to have to come back. Blaze Alexander, I thought, did a outstanding job.
I think he got himself a spot on this team.
So with the young guys coming back and the guys that have started to play, do they have enough? Their hitting seemed to be fine. Marte was fine. Perdomo had an outstanding last month of the season to keep this team going. So there's going to have to be some hot stove movement, but will they pay the money for those viable players in reference to this team, making sure they have the pitching and the bullpen?
We're going to find out, Manuch. We're going to find out hot stove throughout the off of the Major League Baseball, and we will keep tabs, obviously, on what sort of deals that they try to make. But because they are going to have to make some deals.
So you get my point that they've got to put some kind of a ball club on there to give Troy an opportunity.
Yeah.
Hey, tomorrow we'll be joined by Suns radio analyst Tim Kempton. He'll join us. Danny Cush, former kicker for the Sun Devils. They got their 50-year anniversary coming up from the 1975 team. Okay. Talk about the Cush Run, the 32nd annual Cush Run. Campus Quickies. We'll talk ASU, U of A, and NAU. And the Bank's open. Michael Banks.
I like it.
We'll talk about this Arizona Cardinal team taking on the JV team coming out of Tennessee. That being Nash Vegas.
There you go. Banks. I love having Banks on the show. It's always fun. To Connor, I hate you after you found that clip.
We need to find it.
Man, nice job, man. I can't believe I did that, but it is what it is. And once again, Manuch was stellar.
Thank you.
And I sucked pond one.
That's okay.
ESPN 620.
There's always tomorrow.
Progressive knows if you have to choose